It's okay. Off your mind, it's okay. Off your mind,
Chai! Now wow, people wey suppose talk true to power don't off mic. And if we talk, now 500,000 they go summer us, call them hate speech. But fear not, my ego don't come. Ingo torchlight every corner, nooks and cranny of all these bad people where they spoil our country. So my people make we laugh, my ego don't come, my people make we shout, my ego don't come, my ego don't come, man of the masses, my ego don't come, this one not the off in mind. And in the touchlight every corner. Okay, some people be they holla say they want the power. Them be promise us say we go get light and power. Them hustle sote they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Every day, dollar just they get the higher power over naira. See them talk say make we off mind. But thank God say my ego don't come. So my people make you ladder. My ego don't come. My people make we shout. My ego don't come. My ego don't come, man of the masses. My ego don't come. Politico, this one not day off in mind. Person where they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that my egun, that man do they talk. He do they talk. Say my egun diary, he they hot like pepper. But every day then they take money in bulk. Woman picking, they the street they hawk. Still them talk say make we no talk, but thank God say my ego don't come. So my people make you laugh, my ego don't come, my people make you shout, my ego don't come, my ego don't come, man of the masses, my ego don't come, my ego diary politico.
Hello there.
Mayegun la wa mo la mo dododo. Mayegun diary, number one.
Good morning to you, good afternoon to you, and good evening to you from wherever you are watching from. This is Mayegun live.
Mayegun diary, number one. Lórí Facebook, lórí YouTube. Mayegun diary, number one. Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Mayegun dá wa sí. Mayegun diary, number one. Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun diary, number one.
Thank you so much for joining me again tonight. Share this broadcast. Invite your friends, invite your not so friendly friends, and tell them that Mayegun today.
Mayegun diary politico. Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Mayegun diary.
A few days ago, we were bombarded with videos of Nigerians that were escaping from Sudan War. They got trapped, and from their reports, they said the companies that were supposed to transport them in the hired 40 buses that Nigeria hired from Sudan to Egypt, which was expected to spend 3 days. Anyway, there is more. Share this broadcast.
And yes, we like you. Lórí YouTube. And yes, we like you. Ọba bá gbé wúrẹ́. Ayé ẹ̀sùn ra jù. Ijó ìgbádìí.
Nigeria was planning to conduct a census. So as a population census in Nigeria, after the failed 2023 charade called election. But like the subsidy removal, it has been shelved, postponed. Yes, subsidy removal was meant to happen. In June, Nigeria took a loan of $800 million with the intention of sharing this money to poorest Nigerians, cash at hand, to cushion the effects of the removal of fuel subsidy. They've shifted that. But what about the money? Share this broadcast. One other interesting story tonight is how G5 became G2. Where Wike and then Wike Makinde, who are now the forefront champion of Unite Behind Kolu. They were supposed to be PDP. Their own candidate is challenging the election. However, PDP is also groaning right now. They are hungry.
ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o.
Thank you very much for joining me tonight. Of course, one of the damages done to Nigeria and Nigerians by APC Egbekegbe in 8 years of their bloody, terrifying rule is that they have made Nigerians to become indifferent when it comes to, the news of, put it this way, the news of the problems of others, put it that way. Now, Nigerians don't, they have gotten to a stage whereby they just don't feel moved by anything anymore, except when it is happening to them personally. Now, it is this dare, or should I say the dare of empathy in the system. One thing that APC Egbekegbe achieved, why did I say that? It used to be a big thing, emotionally, spiritually, and physically for so many people to deal with what they currently look at and just look away. Usually when they hear that, people got killed by terrorists, people are alarmed. They used to be alarmed. Oh my God, what is this country turning into? Where is Nigeria headed? Man, God should come and do something about this country. Then APC Egbekegbe came and the table turned. So if you become a victim of the system, Nigeria, you will be blamed, not the government anymore. So that changed. People people themselves who are also victims, they now turned it into a competition of, oh yeah, are you the only person suffering? Or are you the only people being killed? The insecurity is happening in Somalia, it's happening in Uganda, it's happening everywhere. So if it's happening in Nigeria, that's fine. Anyway, over time, this helped further polarization, the further polarization of Nigeria, where people started identifying themselves based on what they call the political ideology. There's not much political ideology in Nigeria, by the way. But that of APC, Egbekegbe, is like, this horrible stench pack, yeah, with different disguises like hatred, bigotry, fanatism, and the rest of that. And they are ready to shove it down your throat. If you disagree, you are considered an enemy. Enemy of who? Enemy of their political ideology. To the point that the people started saying, APC is a threat to the national security of Nigeria in 8 years. So cut it short. People started identifying that you are APC. I don't get any feeling for you. No thanks to Tinubu, Buhari, and their kind of politics. The kind of politics that doesn't take responsibility for anything. They will blame everyone, everything, but themselves, including the victims. So Nigerians are like divided into like different parts, okay? But this particular one is like, if you see anybody with APC, Egbekebe's mindset, they are considered as a threat to those who have opposed everything APC stands for, including what they have done to Nigeria today. Do you know that? There are many of you who are today will never give any of your support to anybody simply because they are defending APC. No thanks to the politics of APC. The ones that people go so confused that you will see and APC will tell you, you will see white, pure white. APC will tell you, no, it is blue. And you will still be seeing it as white. And their minions will tell you, are you blind? See your papa blind? Can't you see that this one is blue? Are you, and you're like, oh my God, what is something wrong with me? That is what APC did in 8 years. So it got to a stage whereby Nigerians don't feel that kind of feeling anymore. Even when you first feel like, oh my God, when an injustice happened to anyone in Nigeria or any group, and you are like, oh my God, this is unacceptable. Once they say that person a Buhari supporter, thunder fire you, or go kill you. Immediately, APC did that in Nigeria. And this is fact, this is reality today. Now, this is how Nigerians now react to all of the, the failures of Buhari. Others are ready to defend that failure, while others are also willing to fight that failure. So, Buhari and APC, all they have to do is what? Just sit back and allow Nigerians to tear themselves, hate themselves as much as they want. They can keep power. 8 years of APC. I mean, on Mayegun's diary Politico, where I kind of point out all these failures, injustice, the victims, the perpetrators, which cut across all part of Nigeria. And that, in my book, remember, it is like an injustice to one is injustice to one is injustice to all. Injustice anywhere is injustice everywhere. You shouldn't wait to become a victim before you can then speak up. So this makes my diary the melting pot of those who have something to grind, a stone to grind with Nigeria, represented by APC. Now, what I'm trying to tell you is this, giving you the background of why what you have today, a divided Nigeria, whereby it is like they just can't wait to kill themselves. Nigerians are more or less like they can't wait to sort of extinguish themselves, like smoke everybody out. Yes, no thanks to APC, Egbe, when they were killing them in the north. Because Buhari came out and he said 97% of those who voted for him cannot be treated the same way with 5% that didn't vote for him. So the 5%ers automatically became the hostile opposition. They're not expecting anything from Buhari or APC, and they were not ready to lick their asses as well. They're also not ready to bow to their roaring and their threat and intimidation. But you see, the 97%ers, who are meant to be the majority, ended up being the people who are mostly dealt with. They were those who were expecting something. They were those who were hoping. They were those who were waiting to use Buhari APC to mock the 5%ers who didn't vote for them. So along this line, Buhari APC, they drew the line among Nigerians And they started with the 5%ers, 97%ers, only for those who are within the 97%ers to find themselves on the side of the 5%ers, because what the 5%ers rejected and continue to reject, that they pretend to kind of like, when they started becoming victim of that idea of 97%ers, they became 5%ers. And turning away from there, they became sharer in the punishment that Buhari has for those he claimed. Nigerians, who he claimed didn't support him. So the moment you say Buhari has failed, automatically it's like, hitting the honest nest, something like that. Anyway, so it now got to a stage whereby the numbers of the 97%ers started shrinking and shrinking. What then happened? It exposed the dictatorial, tyrannical traits and then background of APC, in division, tyranny. Yes, they can rule, and that's the reality today. To the point that as APC, Egbekegbe destroyed education in Nigeria, destroyed the economy in Nigeria. The Southerners, Nigerians who are Southerners, they are those who are sending their children, to Ghana, to Togo, to Benin Republic, and all those West African countries. Those who have more money, they send their wards to America, Canada, UK, and other European countries. In northern Nigeria, where Buhari came from, those who actually shared him when he said 97% will be treated better, and they must not be expected to be treated same way as they would treat the 5%ers. Now you see the 97%ers up north, they themselves, as education continued to collapse in Nigeria, they started looking for opportunities for their children outside Nigeria. Guess where they were sending them? Of course now, Egypt, Sudan, Libya, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, UAE, and on and on like that, because those are the areas that align with their own kind of world view. So, country apart, no thanks to APC, Egbekegbe. So what that simply means is that whether you are 97%er or you are 5%er, whether you left Nigeria because of economy, or you left Nigeria because of education, or you left Nigeria because of healthcare, you are all victim of the same thing. The failed system of Nigeria. Whether you are 97%er, whether you are 5%, it doesn't really matter. If you are smart enough, if you are very smart enough, you will realize that everybody is kind of finding their way out of the shit hole that the APC, Egbekegbe, have made Nigeria. There is no real future. Those who couldn't leave, which is the majority, can't leave. Those who can live have accepted their faith. They've accepted their fate, unfortunately. But those who left, like we do say, they left Nigeria. Nigeria didn't leave them. Some of you left Nigeria, and it is because Nigeria has failed you. You may not admit it, and we know your type. Within the space of 8 years, this is data now, shows that more Nigerians have left Nigeria than ever before. For medical doctors, UK alone, United Kingdom, have taken more than 7,500 medical practitioners from Nigeria in the last 2 years alone. 2 years, really. They have given people who are within the medical line from Nigeria to come and fill up the empty space in NHS in the UK. That's just the UK. A country of 200 million people with inadequate medical facilities or medical personnel continue to lose them to the rest of the world. This is a big thing. In 8 years, Nigeria have lost over 40,000 trained professionals from different fields to the rest of to this different part of the world. They call it looking for greener pasture. And now, if I see opportunity, I will leave too. But a reasonable government, reasonable people, we understand that what you are doing, what you are actually living is that you are existing for what, medically, yeah, you can continue to pray to God the way they have made you. Don't expect anything like a real medical system or healthcare system that will indeed care for you. Maybe kind of expand your lifespan and all that. But I'm coming back to you. So you left Nigeria because the education is bad. Lecturers are unpaid. Schools are locked every now and then. Your life is always like, it's more or less like a kick and start, kick and push, push and start. Educationally as a young person. And you have to find that education outside Nigeria. Now you go to outside Nigeria. They are now talking about Nigeria. You are now the most popular on social media. Who is saying that APC must? Then boom, war in Ukraine. Boom, war in Sudan. All of us will do this part of Europe. If it be our turn anytime soon, with this Russia, Ukraine, and all of that, here you get all of you with the UK too, with the this part of where things they happen. It is just like, as they say in Yoruba, ekutonpa ojugba eni, owe lo npa funi. It can happen just anywhere. And around that time, you will realize that as a Nigerian, what exactly is your worth? How did the rest of the world actually see you? Is it how the world see you that you should take very good pay very good attention to, or the way you see yourselves? Okay. So, war started in Sudan months ago. It escalated just a few weeks ago. Nigeria has an embassy in Sudan. You see all these northern civil servants, civil servants from different states in northern Nigeria. Most of them are those who have their children schooling in Sudan, Egypt, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, UAE, and just few are on scholarship from different state governments in northern Nigeria, on scholarship to America, scholarship to Canada, few, scholarship to the UK, but their scholarship actually serves these Arab peninsulas more. And you know why? So when the war started, just like everyone else who are in Nigeria, whenever the terrorists come to your community and they start shooting and killing and burning properties, and you are there, calling the police, calling the vigilante, and all lying dead. That's exactly what it has been for these Nigerians of northern bloc who have their children, their family members, and the rest of them living in Sudan. They had nobody to call until the bomb started going off, and America quickly and hurriedly made an announcement that their citizens must vacate Sudan. That was when people started saying, Sudan, Sudan, hey, Sudan, Sudan. But guess what? Millions of Nigerians are living in Sudan, schooling there. So those who saw money and they participated in the complete destruction of education system in Nigeria in the 70s, see history, in the 70s, in the 60s, Nigeria had the best educational system in the entire Africa, no doubt. It was actually like people going abroad, Africans going abroad. They come to Nigeria to school. a lot of them. Nigeria medical facilities were top-notch of that era too. UCH, University College Hospital Ibadan, used to be the official hospital, family hospital for a former king in Saudi Arabia and his entire family. Yes, true story. But over time, corruption, and this corruption from the grassroots, including your papa, your mama, who were civil servants back then, when they started the destruction of all the institutions, gradually, most of them are today multi-millionaires who can afford to send their children abroad, no matter what is wrong with Nigeria education or healthcare system. They can go abroad and get all those. In fact, it's actually it's a thing in Nigerian civil service. If your child is schooling in America or schooling in Sudan, I saw some Nigerians who were like laughing and mocking them that people, they go abroad, go study good courses. Now they go Sudan, they go study Islamic study. What is wrong with you? Anyway, that is actually not a joke you should be making by now. I mean, right now. So Sudan and Nigerians in Sudan entered emergency mode. Nigerian governments, Nigerian politicians, for those who reacted, everybody started acting surprised. Like they just woke up that morning and they heard that Nigerians are trapped in Sudan. What happened to the Sudanese, Nigerian embassy in Sudan? Why did they wait that long before they could make an evacuation plan when nobody could move anymore? Nobody could get out anymore. You couldn't get in, you couldn't get out. Nigeria is the giant of Africa. Where is that respect for you as Nigerians? So we are the giant of Africa out there. Crippled giant of Africa is what Nigeria is. You saw this reality, everybody will be meeting them. I have told you about why when you look at Nigerians and they are more or less like if it is your turn today that the Nigeria is happening to, those ones who are victims too, they will be celebrating your own agony and pain. Is that not what you do every day to yourselves? They don't kill 14 people for casino and they have kidnapped 200 people. Woma, you go talk about better thing, Jerry. That one about family business. No be so. These politicians, assassin killed PDP politician in Imo, Oweri. It's IPOB. My ego say the truth. Is that not what you do to yourself all the time? Baba na their own problem, Jerry. Baba leave them and we'll talk about better thing. You see, no matter what you do, Buhari will do 8 years. All of now, say, Buhari will do 8 years. You go make him for that 8 years. That is what you do to yourselves every now and then, unfortunately. So it's like everybody's just waiting for their own turn. When is it going to be my turn? So that they can say, hey, you see, like everybody is hunting for something that happened to other people. That is what APC did. They actually draw the line. And Nigerians are like, here, some are here, everybody here and there. So we are just waiting. Let's wait. Who are we going to laugh at? And then when they are crying, so that we can use their tears to drink Gary today. Imaginary Gary, imaginary tears every day. People are dying. I'm not joking. Well, that's my experience because I keep everything in the diary. Help us. They are not helping us. They want us to die in Sudan. Nigeria is this and that. Nigeria is a useless country. Nigeria say, you know, kuna die there. All of una, no be all of una, they support APC. Do you see that? No be all of una, they dead there, they support APC from Sudan. Mokuna go there, go. Anyway, it's just a failure of leadership. Because, of course, they have to scream on social media for help. And immediately it became viral video. Abike Dagboru jumped into the loop. And it come. Nigerians in the Diaspora Commission. Nigerians, something that they just gave to you to the manage. Do you remember the story of how Abike Dagboru became that Abike that some of you will not even understand? They call on them all the time. Hey, Abike, what are you doing about Nigerians in India? Abike, where are you? What are you doing about Nigerians in Qatar? Abike, they are not allowing Nigerians to do something in Dubai. Hey, Abike, and Abike kind of enjoys it until when it is time to do the job that she pretended to be capable of doing. Number one, let me tell you a story. In 2014, 2015, Abike Dagboru, coming from the faction of Tinubu, they teamed up in ACN CPC. So Abike became the MC, one of the MCs. During that time, Dino Melaye was also an MC. Dino, Abike, I think it was two of them, or maybe about three. So whenever they were doing Buhari's campaign then, APC, Abike, Dino, and I think about two other people. They are those who are always kind of everywhere. So when they did all of that, and they started, they came to government. Now, when they came into government, Buhari spent 6 months. 7 months. He didn't choose any. He didn't make any appointment outside. Just about 4 appointments. Abike and the rest, they didn't do anything for 7 months. They were in Abuja, asking that what is going on. Ashiwaju Alpha. Ashiwaju will be like a Buhari no the carry phone, pick up. True story. I'm not making this up. True story. But I just kind of want to make it interesting. That's why I'm saying it, kind of narrating it this way, okay? True story. So, by January, 2016, finally, Buhari submitted the names of his ministerial appointees. Abike no make the cutoff. People can't use Abike laugh on social media at that time. 8 years ago or 7 years ago. People can't laugh at Abike. Look at you. You useless woman, useless this and that. You use your good image. You that we used to respect on NTA News. People, Nigerians now, emotional blackmail. I use this Abike, very useless of you. Very, very, see, no job again for you. That was how Abike got radicalized. And she became Dagboru, no mercy. However, she was determined. They couldn't share appointment between January 2016 until sometimes in late December 2017. They don't share opposition. And you know that in Yoruba land, if they say Otumba, na shiftancy, Akogun, na shiftancy, Balogun, na shiftancy, Oyeni. We say it in Yoruba, Balogun, Oyeni. Otun, Oyeni. Ashipa, Oyeni. Iyalode, Oyeni, na shiftancy. After everybody don't take the proper one, the important shiftancy title, Oyetiton is also a shiftancy title in Yoruba land. They will call you Oyetiton of Yoruba land. You go celebrate them. But Abike, Dagboru won't give up. Around that time, people started telling Abike, Auntie Abike, maybe you can actually work as the liaison person between us in diaspora and the government of Buhari. That's actually the job of the foreign office. So the foreign affairs ministry in Nigeria, their relationship is to put embassy, mission all abroad and use that mission as a contact point between the country, the government, and Nigerians in that country. Sure, you get. That's what the work of foreign ministry. There's no title for Abike. So Abike now met this sheikh. His name is Sheikh Issa Pandemic or Issa Patantami. Now, Sheikh Issa Patantami, they made him the head of something called NITDA. Don't ask me the meaning, because that's what they create. That's what they have created. They have created different funny offices that does nothing. So they say this NITDA, they are about, I don't know, copyright or something. But they now have a building, one big building in Abuja. That building is uncompleted and mostly, almost abandoned. So Abike Dagboru started the NITCOM, Nigeria in Diaspora Commission, so that she can be the liaison officer. If you get any problem anywhere abroad, call Abike NITCOM. Abike will now talk to government. So government can now try and do something. That was the idea. In fact, you wouldn't have known about Abike until the day Issa Pandemic said Abike has been squatting in an uncompleted building illegally in Abuja, member of the same political party. They can't chase Abike out. Abike pretended to have office on social media. She's in Abuja. Nobody they pay him. No nothing. No, just sure you get RNG, but looking for government to legitimize it so that they could say, okay, you can put them under this ministry or put them under this agency, so they go to collect money. So Abike created her own office when they no get office for her. Hey, but Mayegun, why are you trying to? Because she's done so well and all of that. I'm giving you the full background so that a lot of you have now come to that time of call Abike. If war starts in the UK, and somebody they say call Abike, now why are you there? Or you? I'm coming back to that. It was Issa Pandemic that was driving past that abandoned building, which is own agency, supposed agency is the owner. So, who are those ones? Who are they? They say, now NITCOM, Diaspora Commission. Let me be Diaspora Commission. Who did that? Now Abike Jagaban, Abike from but it's illegal for them to have office. Who gave them this place? They said, they come move inside. Abike, sorry, madam. Sheikh, how are you? Come and sit down. Come, you are visiting us today. No, I'm not visiting you. What are you doing here? It's just our small office. We are waiting for approval from the ministry. But who approved this one? I didn't approve this. What are you doing here? You even have office. You have staff. Which ministry? See, Sheikh, come to my office. Which office? Come to my office, let's talk. Which office? It was Abike that was narrating this. So it may sound funny to you. That's what Abike said. Abike said, Issa Pandemic walked into their office, illegal office. And Issa Pandemic started asking questions. Who gave them this place? Who approved it? Who are you working for? What are you? And she tried to take Pandemic out of the whole creating scene that Pandemic should come to our office so that they can talk party to party, especially the call. But Issa Pandemic said, I give you 5 minutes. Madam, I give you 5 minutes. Pack everything inside this place and pack them out of this place. Or I will ask my orderlies to arrest you. Now, so Abike and small projects became homeless in Abuja for a few days. And it became a social media sensation at the time. All of their loads, computer, desk, everything where Abike don't use their money buy, then throw everything out. Now from there, they're going to make them settle. They can go find another. That was how Abike became NITCOM this, NITCOM that. And yeah, it got the attention, finally got the attention of Buhari. So they now gave her another place. Okay, yeah, this thing where you want to do is good though. You want to talk to Nigerians abroad that we are doing, okay. So whenever Nigerians are now in a problem abroad, because Abike no get any particular rules for waiting she started, it's just like a small business. Abike became somebody you can call this. Well, she didn't become that. She started exposing the bigotry in her. Abike will go on social media and say the Igbos are being arrested for drug pushing, cocaine, and that is why they are in jails in this and that. They say, Abike, are you sure that you should be saying this publicly. Because there are Fulani, Hausa, Yorubas that are in jail in Saudi Arabia for drug pushing, for terrorism, for money laundering. Some of them are waiting death right now. They are waiting to be killed. Abike, are you sure you are well informed? Are you sure you should be going this path? Abike doesn't hide her bigotry. And that too. Remember I told you that she was so bullied. Yeah, Abike was bullied. That, oh, Yetiton, madam, wasting of time. Look at your life. You are just useless. You are this. Abike became radical. Until today, Abike is still radical. Abike loves to be praised whenever the evacuation of Nigerians from any part of the world is successful. Okay? But whenever the evacuation fails, Abike doesn't want to take responsibility. Abike doesn't take responsibility. And that's the moment Abike will tell you that who sent you there? Now, who sent you go in there? Who sent you go? Who sent you go this and that? Somebody speaking for government of Nigeria. So Nigerians have known her very well. So because, I told you, Nigeria is divided already. No thanks to APC. Sure. So there are Nigerians that they see everything that is wrong, but they just feel like there are too many people who don't like this APC people. And they are wondering, like, why are you doing? Can't you just pray for them even if they are doing something bad to you? So they just kind of feel like it is in their place to just defend them, even if they themselves are victims of the failing system. So as divided as Nigeria has become, then Ukraine happened. When Ukraine happened, this one that the Ukraine, waiting be that guy, Koloshkov, this guy from Ukraine, they are commenting who is their what do you call it, their lord now. When Nigerians who are schooling, imagine Nigerians going to Ukraine to go and study just because they want to get out of Nigeria. Ukraine. Am I going to talk like Ukraine is a very good place? You can't go learn Ukraine. You can speak Ukraine. You can speak some of these languages that majority of you are actually using to just get the hell out of Nigeria. Ukraine happened. The big brother Nigeria. And Nigerians in Ukraine, they got, you know the story now? A lot of you started saying, Ukraine is racist. Ukraine is a racist place. Ukraine is a bar. They are racist because we took our bukata there. And the country that, the Nigeria that we come from, don't even give a damn about you, whether you go Ukraine or you go Sambisa. Sorry, Jari. Courage, sorry, man. I don't want to say his name so that YouTube will not start asking me that, what did you say about the Koshiklakov or Abikilorukwe? So you shall know who they talk about. Koshensky, Koshilakov, right? They treated Nigerians like, more. They fit treat Americans like that, black or white. They fit do them. I'm just saying, with what you experience in Ukraine, but those ones are white people. Sudan, where everybody is doing feasibility, alhamdulillah, and all of that stuff. We say everybody speak Arabic. Brother to brother, north to north. You feel jog from Katsina, jog enter Niger. If you get strength enough, maybe say be somebody like me where they run out of breath easily. If you jog am enter Chad, enter Sudan. If you can't be one kind of people where say they know desert travel very well, hire Rakumi. Rakumi is camel. And blend with the weather. Few days, you are already in Sudan. You likely have everything you should. Somebody like me, I don't know if you may come to Sudan, or may come to Libya, or may come to Morocco and all these places. It will be difficult. But for somebody who grew up in northern part of Nigeria, who have had uncles, aunties, who have actually been like regular, some of them they schooled in these places, and they took their family members there as well. Like, it's like your UK. Let me put it that way. Sudan, Libya, Saudi Arabia, and all those places are like they are UK, US, and all these places. So the war started. And for those of you who ran there, the first video they sent out to us was that the government has approved 1.2 million when it became news. Nigeria, the big brother. Nobody respects Nigeria. Nobody respects Nigerians. Now your head. Now see some of you always kind of say, my brother, Nigeria, if you know Nigeria, nobody can play with Nigeria. Baba, you the crazy. Nobody tell you before. Now inside your head, that Nigeria day. I'm saying it to you. You will find out. If it happen in the UK, me, I won't be surprised. Everybody this way. Everybody black this way. Everyone. I know I will just carry Caleb. Carry my Caleb. Carry my Yewande. Akin ati Yewande. She refugee camp. I won't be going there and be like, I'm Nigeria, and the biggest Africa. Whoa. Te buy te tani. See Sudan. It's not far from northern Nigeria. But when the war started, there is nothing that singled Nigerians out. But there is even more problems. I will tell you some. When the war started everywhere, some Nigerians, they ran to the border of Tanzania. No go better for the Nigerian criminal leaders. So. And if you are defending them, it no go better for you as well. So, no they look surprised. You want make it better for you, ni? I mean, let's be honest now. You expect that it go better for you when you are actually contributory and then what they call that? An accomplice to what is going on in Nigeria and what they have made Nigeria. So if we say no go better for you, so no be amen you supposed to. No provoke me, oh Baba. So people run there to Ethiopia border. When they go to Ethiopian border, they can't chase them. Like saying that them started the war in Sudan. Those who witnessed this, they said that we don't want Nigerians at all. Shemeka konse abigania when they run from war, Sudanese are running away from Sudan. People will go Sudan, go school, they run away from Sudan. You get to a border, they say Nigerians this way. No near this border, an electric shock will go kill you. No, come here. Say, but Nigerian big brother, Africa, big brother, the biggest, me, Nigeria. If you come here, we'll go shoot you. They didn't just threaten to shoot them at their borders. So in Tanzania, on social media, the Ethiopians were started like, I'm sorry, they are not Ethiopians. Give me 1 second. Yeah, they are. So Tanzania, rather, Tanzanians. On social media, when Nigerians started saying, hey, look at that Tanzania, that small Tanzania. Look at it, as usual, bragging. Some of you don't even know how bad or how badly shaped Nigeria has become. A lot of you are living in that old, you are living that old glory your fathers told you about Nigeria. Nigeria is not small. It's only bad leadership that is weary. Generational bad leadership has created generational poverty where people, the rest of Africa are now like, not touch Nigeria, except their politicians who are coming to see what they can get from your criminal leaders. The rest of Africa knows much about Nigerians. No thanks. to the failing system in Nigeria. So on social media, as then they chase them from their border on social media. Listen to some of these comments. I'll read them out too. Say, who is xenophobic now? Nobody wants these Nigerians, even in time of crisis. Ethiopians are protecting their citizens from Nigerians. This is coming from, see, that first comment is coming from a South African. He said, who is now xenophobic? South African, talking about the Ethiopians. He said, who is now xenophobic? Nobody wants these Nigerians, even in time of crisis. Then another person came there, who is also not Ethiopian, somebody from Tanzania, said, Ethiopians are protecting their citizens from Nigerians. Another person came and he said, in their language, Hebana, Kanti Nigerians are also in Sudan, with a question mark, like Nigerians are in Sudan. One African shock. Like, there are Nigerians in Sudan. They say, yeah, Nigerians are in Sudan. They say, hey, wele. Who they go Sudan? Another African, surprise. Another one came and said, who would want Nigerians in their country? With an emoji of, who want Nigerians? Then another one came with a picture of people defecating in public. People where they poo, forgot in public, said, besides drugs, this one is a South African, said, besides drugs and human trafficking, this is the most disgusting behavior about jollofs. You know that they will be saying, which jollof rice is better, Ghana jollof or Nigerian jollof? Now, when this Sudan crisis started, now then I realized that some Africans are calling Nigerians jollof. Is a slur word for drug dealers, human traffickers, jolloфs. I don't know if some of you know. I'm going to ask my brother, this is my friends who live in South Africa. I'm going to ask them if they have come across that before. Why do they call Nigerians jollof? These jolloфs. It's not a Nigerian jollof, rice, jollof rice, Ghana rice, the one that you always argue about on social media. There's actually a slur word among some Africans. They call Nigeria in particular, this Nigerian jolloфs. Drug dealers, human traffickers, money launderers, fraudsters, jolloфs. Now I discover them. You said go do your research. And the thread continued. Do you even have toilets in your country? Where Nigerians are complaining about Sudan, treating them somehow, these Ethiopians came there and you know what I mean? Every country in Africa is better than Nigeria. Really? Another one came, said, you Nigerians also say Black Americans are jealous of you. If everybody has a problem with you, then you might just be the problem. That's another African who is, a Black American who came under the same conversation and said, Nigerians said Black Americans are jealous of them. If Ethiopians are rejecting you, maybe you're actually the problem, not the rest of the world. Show you they see another one came. This one is a long one. So said, at some point you need to stop the victim mentality and ask yourselves why most countries have disdain for you, Nigerians. Be honest with yourselves. There is no way that almost every country can be against you. You know what you lot do when you get to other people's countries. Another African, no, in fact, this one is actually not even African. Name's like non-African. Here is another one. Nigerians got no history of visiting a foreign country and still go back to Nigeria. Wow. Ouch. That one hot. Justin Dumela. South Africans actually have a special dig for Nigerians. So they just took over this conversation because the Ethiopians said, don't come to our border. Said, imagine being jealous of people who go to Sudan to study. You know, Nigerians will always say Africans are jealous of them. All these Africans are just jealous of us. And some will say, it's because our leaders are bad. That is why these other Africans are making mockery of us. You see? But you do know that you can no longer, with APC 8 years and another 4 years of Tinubu that is coming, you know you have lost all your bragging rights, intimidation, big brother rights in Africa. Now that we have internet, everybody knows what is going on in Nigeria. Even before some of you wake up in Nigeria, the rest of Africa knows what is going on in Nigeria. Now only you wait in Nigeria, or Nigerians where they live in denial. Now only you. They think say people don't know what is going on, and they need to respect us. We are big brother Africa. If you can, we can take over your Oloshi. So now they make useless mouth on social media. Africans, they know you. And now they are saying, imagine you, the humbled slaves living in the shithole. Imagine you going out to complain that other Africans don't respect you. They don't respect Nigerians. But back in Nigeria, you are the champion defender of a terrorist, champions and defender of a drug dealers. And you still want Africa to respect Daru. Do you really think this is 1990? The whole Africa knows everything right now, and it's going to get worse. Show you guys, it's going to get worse. And it's always ideal for you to know the consequences of your actions while you make them, okay? While you take them. Right. These the Ethiopian people, now Nigeria cause them. Of course, now you cause them. No Nigeria, now you. Majority of you have now become defenders of drug dealers, defenders of terrorist sponsor, defenders of tyranny, dictatorship, defenders of thieves, looters, defenders of religious fanatics, those who are actually burning Nigeria down. The rest of Africa are seeing you. Now too dumb, living in that your pit hell, thinking the rest of Africa is living in a hole too. No, they are not. It's changing. The world is changing. Don't worry, you will catch up. So as if to say the Ethiopians are not the ones who should deal with us. Finally, the government swung into action, purportedly. Oh, the government has paid $1.2 million to get everybody out of Sudan. But the plan is that we are going to first take them to Egypt by road. And then we are going to lift them from Egypt straight to Abuja. You see this part, it's illustrative. My broadcast is always illustrative, okay? I'm not like those who have that script, and they'll be speaking one after the other. I know they write them down. Now, as the Rawaniya bring them, you know what they call the Rawaniyas, The universe. As the universe begin to bring them back into my photographic memory, as I saw them and I felt like to speak about them, I just say them. That is why my conversation is always illustrative somehow. Go straight to the point. Iwatitani. Me and you, they go to the same place. You know where they go? Somebody said that, Mayegun, please go straight to the point. Said, which point? You know the points where they make. You know where they go. If you know where they go wait for me. I go meet you there. When I reach there, I go see you there. That's what I tell people. So if you have joined me tonight, you can take a moment, because this is us now going to talk about the Egypt experience. Are you with me? So the Egypt experience, where to show that Nigeria has kind of depreciated. Nigeria is so depreciated that now only you Nigerians who are still living in denial are not telling yourself the truth until the truth will stare you and kind of reality will just hit you like that. Say, oh my God, I can't believe this. Just believe. You can't believe waiting. I can't believe this is happening. Ibolongbe, where are you living? Under the rock. Right. Welcome to the real world. After Tanzania experience, the Nigerian ambassador to Tanzania. No, why am I saying Tanzania? See, I have a problem with all these names. I wanted to talk about Guinea Conakry. And they talk about Guinea-Bissau. Remember? And I was repeating that. Guinea-Bissau. So mental, right? I was talking to Princess. She traveled to Banjul in Uganda. So every time I was like, I was Uganda. That's another one that sounded like Uganda. Gambia. No, Banjul. Sorry, Banjul in Gambia. You see what I'm saying? Gambia, Uganda. My friend traveled to one of them, and she would just say to me in a minute, I said, yeah, I is Banjul. I is Gambia. And she'll be like, this place, she'll be 5 minutes after that. I am like, how is Uganda? I mean, when are you going to leave Uganda? I'll be like, no, I'm not in Uganda. I'm in Gambia. Sorry, Jerry, na Gambia. Look at me. Ethiopia, Tanzania. They are not even close. Oh. Anyway, you shall get idea no matter. Yeah, that's the idea. So, after Ethiopians have shown that no road, now Nigerian government announced all road lead to Cairo. Cairo. Grab every form of identification you can find and assemble at so place. Nigeria is now ready to lift everybody to Cairo. From Cairo to Abuja, Neo. That was very straightforward. Shouldn't be hard. That Nigeria must have made some arrangement. Where is Nigeria Air Force? Where is Nigeria? Should not be Nigeria Air Force go be the one we get all those fighter jets, all those things, Like just go show some shakara like Americans, Just go do some shakara, just fly your Nigeria Air Force jets, that big one where they use carry soldiers. Land them in Khartoum with Nigerian soldiers, action, commando style, sniper, everybody ready. I know say at the two, I must have watched too much movies because we are talking about Nigeria here. Sure you get. It doesn't work that way. Because in every crisis, instead of them to find solution, they leverage on it to make money from it. Oh, yeah, everybody go gather. We they go Egypt. As everybody pack their bags, waiting for the buses. $1.2 million buses. $1.2 million trip from Khartoum in Sudan straight to Cairo in Egypt. You would expect that Nigeria has made all proper arrangement, all proper diplomatic care. What have you? Omo, Ashe, wait for me. They come.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. Assalamu alaikum. We are in Sudan. We are Nigerians who are stranded in Sudan. And as you see now, see as people plenty. Na embassy they wait for. Nigerian government don't give them money, and this people don't promise us plenty things. Say they go carry us come on. Say they don't pay for bus. They say now 40 buses they pay for. Now what the embassy tell us? Say 20 will go the first day, 20 will go the second day, but the first day only 10 buses we see. The other 10 will not see them. They say maybe the first 10 will go, later another 10 will come, or will not see that 10. So the money where they give them, that was on 26. That was on 26. That was on 20. That was on 26, and today is 27. The rest of us who remain here was supposed to come out today, and the place where they go is very far. By now, we don't suppose they road. When embassy leave us here, the time now is almost 10 o'clock. We no see bus.
10:30.
This 10:30. We no see bus. We no see people from embassy. We no see anybody. They just abandon us here. We don't even know what is their plan. We have not seen any bus. So this is the situation we face for Sudan. Why our government they do all this kind of thing always? What be the problem? What we do them? My crime to be Nigerian. What we do? Even countries where we say they don't get embassy for Sudan don't come out.
Yes.
So what we do? Why do they do all this kind of thing? They don't give them money. They say 150 million. They say money they give them now almost $400,000, and they say they don't pay for the bus. But when they realize say now when bus come here, they pay the driver before you go come out. No say they pay company. So I beg, make them put us in prayer. We don't go through a lot for the past 4 days, 5 days.
Talk about the female, the pregnant, the children.
We have some students here who are also married. They deal with their children.
Yeah.
They deal with their children, and some are even pregnant, and they are stranded. Embassy no provide food. They no provide water. In fact,
no medication.
No medication. Now for one school we did one Jamia Freaky and we all of us park like this as the place be. Yeah. The Nigerians we the wait make embassy come make they come do something. I beg, we gonna help us as if say what we do. They what they do us like this. We need to leave Sudan. This country no safe for us.
Today is the last day.
Today should be the last day for the ceasefire. We need to leave this country. Look at the full embassy talk. They don't give them money, let them do their job. The government has paid. What is keeping them waiting? Where we are going is very far. By now, we're not supposed to enter road. They go. They dump us for years.
The main problem is that today is the last day.
Today is the last day. After today, we don't know what might happen. Please and please, this is what we are going through. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
My brother, if you are watching this, because I don't see that go still the road, okay? Iwoma dirao.
Pastor, oko ọlọ́pàá pastor, àwọn ọmọjọ sticker ló ń ṣọ́ wa. Àṣé kò rí pé orí wa ti burú. Ìwọ má dirao, ìpápá ìdàrúrin. Jẹ́ kí wọ́n bá ibùtàn jẹ. Kò jẹ́ pé sàgbétò àbí kò gbẹ́rì tí kò gbé tí a fẹ́ jókòó tẹ̀ rà. Gbẹ́rì tí bá yọ píù. Àwòyí àárín. Mo mọ̀ wípé wà nínú Báíbù pé ìgbà tó fẹ́ mú Jésù kọjá ní àárín òun ògèrí Jésù. Kí ni Jésù lò? Àfẹ́ rí ló lò. Ìwọ má dira, ayé bàjẹ́.
Ayé bàjẹ́ nìyẹn. 1.2. This is a story for about 3 days ago. A lot has happened after that. Oh, this is where we are going now. When the news came, they said Nigeria will now spend $1.2 million to hire 40 buses that will travel for 3 days from Khartoum to Egypt, where there will be aircrafts waiting to take them to Nigeria. Seems the only toughest journey is the journey between Khartoum and Cairo, which will take 3 days on the road driving. So if your government says, we have procured buses to take you, and there you are seeing them paying drivers by hand instead of a company to say, okay, company have sent 40 buses. So this company will bring 40 buses and they will take everyone that they find, they see on site. That is what a country will do, right? But Baba, then declare 3 days ceasefire. 3 days ceasefire. Within that 3 days, America lifted over 1,500 of their citizens. UK lifted over 1,500. Canada lifted over 1,500. I don't have the actual figure. That's why I'm using that particular figure. Because they are like over 1,500 people in 3 days. The ones who tried yesterday, one of the rebels, they shot at their planes. I can't remember the name. But 3 days, 3 days. You see all those journey of $1.2 million, road trip, and all the WAHALA could be saved. Like they could lift more than 2,000 to 3,000 people in a single day out of that place. If Nigeria is a real place, but there is nowhere where you find yourself, Nigeria will happen to you. Trust me. Directly or indirectly, it will happen. So, Nigeria in Khartoum, Nigeria government that announced $1.2 million started paying drivers. And when the money expired in the middle of deserts, they park and say, yeah, everybody, find way, between here and Khartoum, if you start working now, past 1 week. Oh, yeah, they go. I know they go again. The money where they pay me, and here you expire. I'm not joking. They started lying. Guess what? Because Nigeria is an unreal place, those ones who are in Nigeria, they started attacking those ones who are in Sudan. Look at this idiot, they are complaining that they stopped them at the middle of desert. This place doesn't even look like a desert. This place looks like a stopover. Look at this idiot, Nigeria should have left you there to die. Look at these ones complaining. They are even making video to spoil the name of Nigeria, to spoil the name of government. Look at this. People running away from war. The ones where they're in Nigeria, where they face the war in Nigeria, they don't feel jealous. Look at this idiot too. They won't carry us, give them. These ones, they are still complaining. Look at this idiot. They should have allowed you to die there now. Ha! Which kind of which kind of people be this to your law? Eh? There's nothing like people even putting on their flag to say, we love Sudan, we love Sudan because Nigerians are in Sudan, we support Sudan, this, it's something to show solidarity. That those people were complaining on in the desert, that they've left us here, we don't know where to turn to. The driver said he's not going again. Even Abike came out later, said there was a problem. True. Which problem? Hey, driver enter road, stop saying no, they go again. Abike said they've resolved the problem. Yes, there are some little problems, but they've resolved it and they have continued the journey. Little problem, one in day one. Very corrupt country with corrupt people. Go see solidarity anywhere. I don't lie you. Now when you get problem, you go no say Nigeria, no be a real place. Trust me. If you are one of those who are still convinced, especially some of you, my fans, who are older generation, I like it when you speak with so much confidence. Mayegun, see, Nigeria is still going to be okay. Nigeria is going to be okay. Mayegun, let me tell you something. Esa, if it make you sleep well at night, okay, so be it. But you know something, others like you, when they have run out of everything is still going to be fine. Once we do this, once they run out of all of that, all those expressions, when they speak to me, they will be like, Mayegun, you see this Nigeria problem. Now only God go help us. I say, I like that. Now escape route be that. I mean, no more conversation, no more discussion. What do you want to talk after that? When somebody will say that, you will see somebody who is talking more about Nigeria. Mayegun, do you know that? Mayegun, we have to. I say, okay, yes, sir. I agree. Very good, sir. So, what do you now think, sir? That we should, Mayegun, my brother, I swear, go and write today's dates down. Let me tell you something today, Mayegun. Yes, sir. I'm listening, sir. Write today's date down. I'm writing it, sir. Now only God will resolve Nigeria problem. Yes, sir. Alone, I don't get any solution for Nigeria, Mayegun. As it be so, Nigeria situation, no, it don't pass human but I love it these days, when people want to, they will just say, Mayegun, my own belief is that may Nigeria just break up. I don't get solution. I don't get any. They've run out of idea. You know, when people used to say, let us pray for Nigeria, no matter, let's pray. See, Mayegun, I understand, but let us pray. When they ran out of prayer points, they started like, see, Mayegun, let's break up this country. I like that too. Nigeria will frustrate you. You go speak out and say, which kind of country be this? If they happen directly or indirectly, it's happening. And it doesn't spare anybody. Oh, yeah, it's because they are Northerners. Oh, it's because they are Easterners. Oh, it's because they are Christians. It's because, Nigeria, they bite everybody. Or some people, they try to act until when they can no longer hold on, you just see one grown-up man where they smile all the time. Every time when they talk about Nigeria problem, it will just be like, let's pray. Let us pray. Person will be saying, you think saying get everything under control. If they bottle them up, if they manage them, if Nigeria they bite them, if they manage them, Nigeria they chop them, if they turn body, that kind of say rats or mouse will be hitting. Sorry, if you didn't grow up in the kind of environment I grew up, you won't understand this, okay? When I was growing up, so it's a normal thing to wake up in the morning and then you have injury. Why? Because they say all this your soul, the sole of your feet, the entire soul from the back. The rat must have hit, a rat probably have eaten the entire thing. When the rat hits the entire thing, so you begin to like tiptoe. Somebody like me, that's people like us who actually like grow up in that environment, so to say. Hang on, no, I don't see something. Don't go anywhere.
Shay, help us. help us. There is God, oh. There is God, oh, God, oh, God, oh, God, oh, God, oh, God, oh, God, oh. God should descend, oh, today God will descend here. Nigerian women will not cry in vain. Nigerian women will not cry in vain. This thing will end today. My sisters, if your child lost, will you stay and keep quiet? Will you people stay and keep quiet? The presidency now.
You get it? Okay. If you don't get it, forget about it.
So you get now. People that Nigeria will say, if Nigeria push you to the wall, people when Nigerians get pushed to the wall, they will turn around. And when they turn around, when they have nowhere to go again, they will fight back. Omo, Alayo, Nigerians when they turn back, oh, if you push them to the wall, they will break that wall, make hole in that wall, enter the wall. If the WAHALA follow them, enter the wall, they go make more wall, more hole, until then go. When men inside that hole, inside the hole there. Nigerians know they turn back much like that. But you see, situation in Nigeria can make somebody maybe say in they smile all the time. And it's not about this country, but say, just let's be hopeful. Let's be hopeful. One day go just like bust out, shout, Egba mi o! What's happen, sir? Kilo de, sir. Professor, that's very unusual. You have never complained. What up? Egba mi, help me. Help me. So what's happen, sir? Nigeria don't enter me tete. Now manager, they manage my brother. My life don't finish. He said, what's happen, sir? That's how Nigeria is. So when no matter where you find yourself, it has a way, directly or indirectly, but you can pretend about everywhere with the manager. We thank God. But when the camera is off, you're like, Baba, see, I won't see you. So what's happen? About please, anything with I thought you said you thank God, everything is fine. I was like, I don't know what to say, Nisa. That is Nigeria for you. But you see, no matter how much you try to kind of UCBG song, Nigeria will force you to scream out like those ones that screamed out in the desert, but they didn't know what was actually awaiting them in Cairo. They thought they were going to Cairo. You see, those ones who finally made it there, majority of them are still in Sudan as we speak. Others are trapped in the Sahara desert. Sure you get. But when they got to Sudan, when they got to Egypt, you will think Nigeria, the giant of Africa, government of Nigeria, would have actually made a proper arrangement with the Egyptian government. See, our people are going to be at your border, okay? And we're going to need your airspace, whatever we need to get, any clearance, anything. These are Nigerians. They will show their green passport. They are not staying here. They're just transiting because of what is going on in Sudan. Two countries, so may they respect themselves. So when Buhari, when the Minister of Foreign Affairs said no even day. Now, Abike Dagboru, they do Omalata, Mrs. Charity, I want to help people. You know what I mean? When they got to Egypt, $1.2 million, that one don't enter voicemail. So Abike, what's happening for Egypt?
Unfortunately, by today, we had expected that in a couple of hours, a plane should be coming in. But the 13 buses arrived Egypt quite at the border between Sudan and Egypt. But we met a challenge there. The Egyptians did not open their borders. First, they arrived about past 5:30 p.m., during which they had already closed. And then by the time they allowed 2 officials only to cross over, but they refused to allow, well, not just the Nigerians, there are about 7,000 nationals, people from various countries waiting there, but they refused to allow them to cross. They said they needed to have some clearance, some visas and all that. So unfortunately, those students have been in a bus for 3 days. The condition is actually very traumatic and traumatizing. But the information coming from our ambassador, I spoke with him just a few minutes ago, is the assurance that they have resolved whatever it is and told them please allow them passage, because they're going to be escorted straight to the airport in Aswan, and the plane will pick them up. So the assurance they gave again is that tomorrow morning, hopefully, they would have crossed the border. Now, when they cross the border into Egypt, they say have a 4 hours drive or 5 hours drive to Aswan International Airport, from which they will be carried back home. Now, an Air Force plane is already on standby to go there and pick them up. But here's the thing. You don't want to go if there's nobody to pick up, because you don't want to go just parking there. So as soon as the clearance is given, we have an Air Force plane that will actually hopefully leave very early tomorrow morning to go there. So that is actually the update, and it's not good news. It's not good news, but the hope is that they will be back anyway. So there are about 7, and there's a scramble, there's chaos, there's a very unpleasant sight at the border, because there are about 7,000 nationals all waiting to cross into Egypt.
So you get it now. So they had to start making that arrangement because the Egyptians won't let them cross without a visa. That's exactly no clearance. So she's talking about clearance. Now them go get the clearance, or the government will get the clearance for them before they got there. So what was the plan when they directed them to Egypt? They just thought that they would just drive to Egypt and just drive in like in Nigeria, like diplomatically. Even if you don't know that, they shouldn't they? As a government. All right. So there is chaos that she's talking about. People they para, people they like WAHALA days on the road, like proper refugees running away from war, going back to Nigeria, the most incompetently, inefficiently, corruptly run country that they once ran away from. Here you get now. So you find yourself anywhere and you are like, I'm in Nigeria. You're on your own. No be say it now today. But 8 years of APC, further what? It further exposed how much the world don't actually give a F about Nigeria. Even if you continue to think you mean something, I don't think so. Of course, you love those names. The director of medical in America is a Nigerian. Yes, Nigerians are the best, but yet drug dealers, drug barons, money launderers, terrorist sponsor, financiers, manipulators, certificate forgers, perjury criminals. They are your role models in the shithole. And when you find yourself outside Nigeria, and you still continue to kind of wish what chase you away out of Nigeria, you are still wishing it on that Nigeria. Come on. It's like self-destructive or something it's called. Imagine. This lady says something. I want you to listen.
It's this case is right. Do you think it's justifiable that you're being arrested for a protest?
No, I don't think so. It's unfortunate that this is where we see ourselves in this country. People go out in the street committing crime, stabbing people unjustly, and they are not arrested. But I went out on a peaceful protest and was arrested and charged to court as criminal. I mean, it's unjust. But anyway, I will see how the court will rule the case.
Thank you very much. It's
I once told you that Nigeria is a place whereby terrorists are rewarded. Activists are imprisoned in Nigeria under APC. 8 years of disaster. Somebody took it. I love this generation to some extent. I have to be honest. They have come out of the shell that their parents lived under for years, for decades. They take it to them and say, well, you want to kill us, but we'll ask you these questions. The drug baron, okay, something happened. Let me tell you, something happened. And there was this space where they were having a chat about how to curb narcotics, drugs in entertainment industry in Nigeria. So NDLA now came to address the people in that space to offer advice and, you know, how they do their job and the rest of that. So, Gen X, my generation, who was in that meeting, didn't let the egomaniac NDLA, lying, incompetent, corrupted criminals handling this such a agency. They didn't want them to lie for free when they are actually defending a drug baron that is about to become president of Nigeria. The meeting Badaru. Somebody say, "Oh, come, you call yourself NDLA. Una they catch people where they sell drug, where they use drug, Abi. But all of una day yes, so you want see what you want to do with this drug dealer? We want to become president. Now so NDLA say, let us be patient. Let us calm down. Let us Baba, you the mad, who you they talk to? What do you go do with Escobati? You come to preach to young people about drug trafficking, drug dealing. Mo will not do drug, Mo will not do anything, but will not go they protect a drug dealer who is going to be your president. They say it to their faces. Oh, listen.
Issues of rehab centers. We have this Indian hemp Igbo, as we call it locally. There's, before you count 10 Nigerian young people standing, you have like 10. I mean, you have like 8 or 7 with that thing in their pocket. And we see their behavior. We see their behavior. Right now, almost all the youth of Nigeria, forget about the entertainment industry. That is the only industry that has stand tall since 1999 that democracy returned to Nigeria. The other industries are in comatose, whether you like it or not. And I'm saying that you have done a good job to find yourself, create a space and talk to Nigerians about this. But still, I will still tell you, in a civilized country where things work, I will tell you that you have done nothing. You have even created more trouble for Nigerians. Because one, the only industry that is working is the entertainment industry for now that has landed Nigeria's name in the highest space, the best space in this world. The best name you can use in describing Nigeria was gotten or is gotten from the entertainment industry. Music, fashion, comedy, dance, boxing, and football, and all those things. Those are the people who have the good name that the Nigeria as a country have today. But the fact remains that I want to ask some little questions. Why don't you take your campaign of drug abuse to the military barracks, to the police barracks, to the barracks, to the places where government have more influence? Because I want to tell you that in a country that works, NDLEA is supposed to be in charge of the prosecution of those who traffic and who take drugs. And we have seen a presidential candidate in this country under the APC being accused in another country but for forfeiting millions of naira in the issues of drugs, and you people have not done anything to it.
Please,
you have not done anything to it.
This conversation, please.
It's the same conversation. No, it's the same conversation.
Please, I'm the one hosting. Please listen to me. Your question, please. Let's limit it to
issues.
Please. Don't collect food from my mouth. Please, let us just talk about entertainment. Please don't go to Escobar. I beg you, Benny, no collect food from my mouth. He's telling him to please stop. I mean, the host, NDLEA, they here. You know what I do? You know which kind of influence I get to bring NDLEA here? You got to tell NDLEA, say, drug baron, won't be abba. Maba, no do like that, I beg. So no be Kodakun. Yeah, that happened. And then this also happened. Where is Zekome? I'm just sharing you this short clip before we continue, okay?
We have told the Supreme Court to do the needful. The case has been adjourned to the 11th of May. But here is calling on President Buhari, please, sir, on my bended knees, you can order the release of Nnamdi Kanu today. You can do it through the Attorney General of the Federation, who has the powers to enter a nolle prosequi, discontinuance of the cases. After all, there's even no case now. It's just being held illegally. Let him go. Let my people go. You don't have to wait for the Supreme Court decision. You don't have to wait to go on May 29. Let Nnamdi Kanu go.
Let him go. I thought I should drop that in your subconscious tonight before I started taking calls, because I want to take calls. So I'm going to have a gist before I go. Maybe for an hour, if that's okay. But I'm going to go make myself a cup of coffee. No, a cup of tea, not coffee. So don't go anywhere. I will be back in a minute. So if you are still watching, we are currently over 2,000 of us on YouTube. And if you haven't really liked this broadcast, you should. I will be back in a minute. Don't go anywhere.
What shall I say unto the Lord? Yes, Lord. All I have to say, thank you, Lord. What shall I say? Thank you, Lord.
Hello there. Thank you so much for waiting.
Yeah.
How are you, sir?
Hello, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, thank God for all your analysis, and I just want to appreciate you for, your job. Good job, well done. I just want to use this opportunity to still plead with other Nigerians, especially the youth, the unity beggars. Nigeria is not a nation. Nigeria is not a nation, and there is no way we can get to our fullness if we don't break this country into pieces. Let me tell you the truth. All your pastors, from Pastor Adeboye, all of them, you will see that if you notice the atmosphere at this day, you realize that they have suddenly gone quiet. Everybody knows the problem of that country. If you see, if your GO come out and say, let's pay for Nigeria, it's not that he loves Nigeria. It's because, you see, pastoral work in Nigeria and military work, it's a large business. And in the churches, in the congregations, they have Igbo, they have Hausa, they have. So it's a business. So at the end of the day, the benefit is for them, not for you. Number two, if Obasanjo comes out today and say, no, Nigeria must be one. We have suffered for this country. It's not because he loves Nigeria. It's because of his own personal business, personal interest. So are all your Femi, Dangote, these people are people sucking Nigeria. So the Nigeria goodness is never for you. Stop deceiving yourself.
Tell them so.
Let me tell you, some of the people that are in Nigeria, unless you go out of that country, you wouldn't realize that you are deep in the place, in an extended place. When we have our independent, sovereign, small nations, we'll be able to take care of ourselves better. There are so many resources in that Nigeria that we cannot access because of the kind of evil constitution that we are using. The people that are using the resources of Nigeria, they don't even have anything in Nigeria.
They don't.
Fulani are not indigenous people in Nigeria. So stop deceiving yourself. I understand the fact that we are into ourselves. Igbo marry Yoruba marry. But let me tell you, in America, people will also marry people of different races. So why are we deceiving ourselves? Sometimes, So, but if you understand, I'm a Yoruba man, and I am proud to be a Yoruba man. But if I say an Igbo man, I will understand our value system different.
And you respect him for who he is.
Yes, when it comes to the issue of business and money, no play with people. I will know them for that. But look at what is happening today. Why we are doing ourselves? Why we are not the same people. If you talk, okay, I hear your analysis when we say people are jealous of Nigeria. It is true. I'm in America. I've met with several African people from other African countries. And when I met with them, I realized that Nigeria. Okay, let me talk about Yoruba because I'm not a Nigerian Yoruba man. I'm proud of that. Almost the grace that is working with me as a Yoruba man. When I compare myself to other Africans, someone is different. We are not on the same level. In all aspects, we are not on the same level. In Nigeria, before I left Nigeria, you see the way they talk about Chinese. Chinese people. I knew one boy in Lagos he was working on that this Chinese construction company 60 years ago. You know what they were calling their Chinese master? They will say Chinese are teaching them. And when I go to America, I went to school with the Chinese, with people from Asia, with all of them. And I work with them. When I go to America, I discover that in America, you meet all the races of the world in America. All races. In America, I discovered that of all the people that I've met, Chinese people, they are the most, how do I'm looking for the word to do. They are the most, calm,
like a calm, collected, respectful, or what?
They don't have art. I don't know how to. They don't have art. They don't have art,
like cold-hearted, like wicked.
They don't even like problems. They don't get God. Chinese, we don't the rule like that are doing like Lord in Nigeria.
They don't get mind to actually hurt people in the sense.
They don't get mind. They are simple. These are simple. Chinese are simple people. When you get Chinese store, you just mistakenly eat one Chinese person. They will just say, I'm sorry. Then go to beg you. Chinese, but go to Nigeria. You see Chinese people are running for Chinese. If you work with, they don't like problems. If you have issue with them and you are the one at fault, they won't even want you to call police. They will say, they don't like problems. But they go to Nigeria and become killed. Are you getting my point? So we are not the same people. Yes, we are not the same people.
There's nothing wrong being feeling like kings, but kings have to respect other people too. So Chinese in Nigeria who don't treat Nigerians well, but outside Nigeria or in the US, like you said, they have.
I say that they are simple. I am telling you, they don't even like problems. They are just gay. They don't even like to be noticed. You stay with them in an environment. They just go to business. They do their own. But these same Chinese are becoming laws in Nigeria. I am begging all of you, please. Nigeria is not for you. Are you getting my point? Nigeria is not for you. Let's define the situation. Before they swear that one that they want to say, although they are not swearing any, but let's put all options on the table. Before that, let everybody come and let us do our own thing. Thank you so much.
God bless you. How many times will they tell you?
How many times will they tell you before you know that Nigeria is not for you? Ah! Now they never leave you. They have left you behind. Photo, not be juju be that. Sorry, oh, sorry, oh.
Hello there.
Hello, Michael.
Hello, ma.
Hello, good evening. Hi, how are you?
I'm very well, ma. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
You may need to mute the broadcast or just walk away from the room.
I've done that. I've muted it now.
Good one, ma'am. So, yeah, you are live, please.
Yeah, thank you. Today, when we're talking about, a lot of people are talking about the Nigerian condition.
As usual.
And I think, as usual, and I think what I hear are people who are determined, we are determined not to be compatible with one another, whether we like it or not, right? I kept on hearing throughout yesterday, we don't have the same values. Nigeria should break up. We don't have the same values. We don't have the same values. And I had to go and check what's the meaning of values. Just, like, I'm educated, so I have an idea, but just in case maybe my understanding of values is different from the other, the average person's understanding of values. And, it's not...
it's a case of what you love, maybe what I like.
Right.
They are still same thing with care, but they're just like different approach. So, and there shouldn't be anything wrong in that. That could be the value in between. So what is more valuable to me? Maybe something to you that would be like, no, I'm not. No, I want something else.
No.
But you can be respected.
I totally disagree. I disagree because you are living in a foreign country, right?
That's right.
I live in a foreign country.
That's right.
Most of the people who are calling live in foreign countries.
That's right.
Now, they have values, right? We have our values. And as a Nigerian and as an African and as an Igbo woman, I know that there are some things that are different. But guess what? I still exist, I still live, and I still thrive in this country.
Environment, yes.
Okay? In this environment. Now, so it's not a question of values. What the Yoruba man values and what the Igbo man values and what the Hausa, we have some very core things. We respect our elders. We have respect for our elders. We have respect. We try to respect one another. We understand that, okay, one person's opinion can be different from, but it doesn't mean we should quarrel. The problem we have as a country, as Nigeria, is we do not have laws. Our constitution does not guarantee fairness and equity across the board, right?
Protection of those values in the sense, sense of it.
Okay, yes, protection of those values, right? Where I think somebody listed it, yesterday. You have the Fulani, you have the Hausa, you have the Southwest, then you have the South, and then you have the Igbos. Not to talk of the people that even, some tribes that we're still discovering, okay? So now where we are treated as or, whatever class citizens, right, in a country where we're supposed to be so-called one Nigeria, then that is the problem. And that's the problem we should be trying to fix. So for me, I feel like, okay, yes, if at the end of the day people decide, okay, the best thing for this country as an entity is to break up. If we do not solve the problem of equity and fairness across the board, right? Yorubas will still go and face that same problem in Yoruba land. Igbos will still face that problem in Igbo land. The Middle Belters will still face it where they are, and so will the Northerners as well. Okay, so this whole, we are not the same. We don't have the same values. I don't believe it. That's not because the last. So
you think that usually one of the things that people said that they said Nigeria shouldn't lose was this popular word about diversity, right? So something that's so similar to what you just said as well, like we seems to have shared value that are not really kind of respected one of the reasons why we found ourselves where we found ourselves. So the diversity of Nigeria is the differences that we all kind of know we do have. But at the end of, on the other hand, there are some other good things that we share according to those promoting that too. So you think that mismanagement of our diversity, as we find it, if it is properly managed in a way, before we now talk of dividing the country, is more ideal. Like, I don't know if I'm making sense.
I understand what you're saying, because if you remember when, like back in the day when they used to talk about biodiversity, right? We used to talk about biodiversity, right? They are talking about biodiversity because they're trying to include all kinds of people. We already have that. We don't need. We have different tribes. We have different cultures. That's what we have. Cultures. We have different cultures. And within those cultures, there are similar values, which each culture can appreciate one another, right? The last caller, talked about how, when it comes to money, you can't mess with Igbos. I've seen richer people who are Yoruba. I've seen richer people who are middle belters. It has nothing to do with anything. Okay, it has everything to do with your interest. The Igbos are not all about money, and it's quite irritating as an Igbo person to just be chopped up to all you care about is money. That's ridiculous. And it's the same thing, if you just
it's not synonymous. This issue of money, it's not even synonymous to anybody in Nigeria today. People are actually selling off their conscience from all tribes to support all the chicanery going on in Nigeria. So it's not synonymous to anybody. The corrupt people we are mentioning today who are siphoning money, they come from everywhere. In fact, we have seen those Buhari turn to billionaires.
They come from. I 100% agree with you. Listen, from yesterday, I held on to this myself because I said, I've been checking your show for how many hours? Because I said, I will have to talk about this whole values business. I don't get it. We may not 100% agree on things across the board, but I believe that there are things that we can work with. Now, if we have a constitution that guarantees, that those values are respected, that everyone is treated equally and fairly, regardless of where you come from, and then you have to ask yourself, what is your pride level? Like, if you see an Igbo man who is able to do a job and do it well and benefit your whole race, are you going to let him do the job that he benefits? Or are you going to say, no, why would this Igbo man do this work now? Forgetting that he's not doing it for himself, he's doing it for the whole race. So can you, how will I put it? Can you, what's the word I'm looking for now?
Maybe begin to see quality than quantity sometimes, begin to see the bigger picture beyond tribe and all that.
Exactly. Can you put your pride aside and say, okay, this is working for the common good? That is the question that each person needs to be asking themselves, right? Now, if we want to move forward as a country, let us have a constitution that says, that respects those values. Let us have a constitution that says that promotes meritocracy. Now, if you have that, it will definitely take everybody, including in North. People who feel that Northerners are, listen, I schooled the University of Jos. So when people say, Hausa people are not, I've met people who are Hausa who are fantastically brilliant. Okay? Now, the problem is that their people have left them disenfranchised. They have made them the way they are. They haven't given them the ability. They haven't equipped them to compete. Now, if we have a meritocratic society, they will be forced to educate their people. They will be forced to compete with the rest of the country. Then you will have the best. What we have now is what we have in Nigeria is an absence. Yes, what we have is an absence of all of this, and that is why we are the way we are. Not because of values. We are all in different continents around the whole world, thriving in the whole world, with people who have different values from
trying to actually get what Nigeria couldn't give to us, and
trying to get within a value system that is different from ours. So if you're able to thrive there, tell me why you cannot thrive in it. Why you cannot live peaceably with another person, regardless of tribe, religion, and this and that and the other. I don't want to take up too much of your time, but I just felt like I had to share this.
No, you did well, and I hope I'll be lucky next time to have you just like this. I mean, that's quite an interesting, the perspective to conversation. I love that. Thank you so much, right, for not giving up on me for this long delay and all that. Okay, thank you. I'll take another one. because there's so many people who actually have a lot to share with us that we could use as a perspective on everything. It helps for you to see things from other people's lenses and all that. Hello there.
This is my first time calling. I am really excited to be on this platform of yours. And I must remind you that you are doing a fantastic job trying to enlighten people and trying to make sure that everybody understands the kind of shit we are in as a country. Right. Now, I just want to make a contribution. Please. And it will be an extract from the last caller, right? And one thing I will have to contribute to that is this: for every country, what forms or what informs the value system of that country, right? You see it enshrined in that constitution of that country. So, peradventure, now you are in UK, right? No matter what, maybe the Scottish or the Irish or the English have as their, let's say, their culture in terms of tradition and stuff like that, it will not go against the constitution of UK, if I'm correct. So also in Nigeria, right? So what you have in Nigeria is that we have a value system that is not being respected across board. Now, let me give you an instance. Let me give you an example. In a secular country like Nigeria with a working constitution, no matter how manipulative that constitution is, it says that we are a secular country, right? But in the north, we have an institutionalized Sharia system, the court system with an enforcement arm, right? That is directly at variance with the constitution, which is the value system of that particular country. You go down to the east, you find some other organizations. You go to the west, you find other organizations that are at variance with the constitution of the country. Let me give you an example. In the west, you have Amateku. In the east, you have Ibugago. These are we are unconstitutional because as it stands in Nigeria today, the armed forces lies at the center, according to that constitution, right? So we might talk about the things that are not good about the constitution and for the fact that it was imposed on the country, which is okay. But as it stands now, that is what we are operating at.
The country has. But that could also be a one. Right? Sorry to cut you, right? That could also be the reason why people don't kind of respect that constitution, so to say, with all you have said as well, right? Where a supreme constitution in a country, if it was written by every part of the country, right? There will be no reason for having a Sharia in a part, having a Bubeagu on the other part, created out of the failure of the military, so to say, and then they are taken down south because of the failure of the security agents and all that. So maybe because people didn't actually write the constitution didn't address the core value of Nigerians, the people who make up that Nigeria. That too could be another one. Maybe you haven't thought about that, but please continue.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
The constitution came from the people, it should have addressed all of this.
Exactly. If the constitution came from the people, it would have addressed the cultural value of each region, right? And make sure that is taken into consideration. Now, having said that,
well, in the absence of that, that's what you were saying earlier. You said in the absence of that, even though you may not address it, but that's what we have. Yeah. So you wanted to say that once we work within that confinement of it, we can still get it right. I want to hear that part. Go on, sir.
That is what I'm trying to say. Once we work within the confines of that particular one, right, we can still live together, even though it is not perfect, right? Even though it's not perfect, there are certain areas of our life that it will not take care of. But the issue of we having to live together under that same constitution that we are not is not because I just want to draw a barrier between what the last one said. Okay, we have people living in other countries, right, and who are working and living, even though that they know that their values does not, it's not in tandem with the values of the country, right? But now, can I ask you, in UK, can you go and block the road and do a one day without taking permission?
It's not possible.
You can't. Why? Even though it's your value, but there is a constitution that forbids that from happening. And so you work with that constitution. That's what I'm trying to say. So, of course, exactly. So what I'm saying in effect is this. Why people are saying we are not compatible is because we have seen it, people trampling upon the said defective constitution, right, in the country by establishing things that are not within the spirit of that particular defective constitution as it stands now. So that means we don't have common values, which people are saying is right. Because even with the value that is defective that we have, people are not subscribing to it. How much more when you have a standard one, if they don't subscribe to it also, that means we are not compatible again in that sense.
That even if they write the right constitution at the end of the day, if nobody follows it, right, it will still end up as the useless one that nobody listens to too. So
definitely.
That's sad.
Thank
you so much for
sharing
that with us. I'll let people listen to that part of the constitution in case if somebody like, what's that constitution? They are talking about 1999 constitution. Some point you should know about the constitution that says it doesn't represent anybody, any one of us, and the beginning or the genesis of what Nigeria is battling with. Thank you so much, sir.
10 things you never knew about the 1999 Constitution. Did you know that the 1999 Constitution was promulgated by the Military Decree 24 of 1999? And to think of it, this 1999 Constitution was never subjected to a referendum.
Did you also know that this 1999 Constitution was written by a selected few that never got the consent of the indigenous nationalities or its representation?
Did you know that after writing the 1999 Constitution, it was hidden from the public until after the inauguration of President Obasanjo in 1999?
Funny enough, this 1999 Constitution was not printed by the government press or any known printers in 1999.
Did you know that the 1999 Constitution created a unitary government as against the projected federal government, and this forged an inefficient over-centralized government, as well as creating a centralized judiciary whom has never been autonomous?
In all this, did you know that this 1999 Constitution falsely and maliciously claims that the indigenous nationalities willingly handed over their lands and resources to the federal government?
And interestingly, did you know that the 1999 Constitution calls state governors chief security officers, but at the same time centralized all the security agencies and denies these state governors control over any of the security agencies?
And finally, do you know that the illegitimate 1999 Constitution in Section 6, subsection 6C, absolves the government from liabilities regarding rights of the citizens as provided in Chapter 2, making this right not justifiable?
This and many more are the reasons why corruption, unaccountability, incompetence, and insecurity are institutionalized in Nigeria.
Hello there.
Hello, Mr. Mayego.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for your patience.
Thank you so much for your help and the support you have been rendering concerning development in Nigeria. What I will say next is that I agree with the last speaker, before the last speaker. Constitution is very, very important. And the Constitution is above everybody.
It should be.
But the way Nigeria, they are running Nigeria, it seems to me that the so-called leaders, they don't have respect for the Constitution.
They don't.
And at the same time, Nigerian Constitution is an illegitimate Constitution.
God bless you, sir.
In the sense that where any offense is committed, there is no any follow-up. It will just die down. And money reigns supreme in Nigeria. When you have the money, you believe that you are above the law. Constitution should be a book that it should have a supremacy. And it's better to rule by the best law rather than to rule by the best man. And all these people, they don't believe that, in fact, we are human beings, but some of us behave like animals. And Nigerian leaders, they are not shame. They don't protect the position which they hold. For example, now, if I'm wrong or I'm right, like this coming president now, all the allegation against him is enough to nullify that election, no matter what. Because country should not be ruled like a household. And Nigeria is an interregional society. There should be absolute supremacy of the law. And people, everybody should respect it. Why is it in a country somebody will kill somebody, nothing will happen? Why is it in a country that there should be double preferences for somebody who doesn't have the personality, who doesn't have the educational background to become or to hold, a substantive post? Because constitution, there should be equality, there should be absolute supremacy, there should be fundamental human rights. The constitution doesn't guarantee rights for every individual in Nigeria. If you have nothing, they don't reckon with you. And the education is not accessible to everybody. It should be equal standard because education is a civilization. Education is not money, but knowledge is power. When you have education, you have everything, no matter what. Not that you will not have money, but the money you have will be enough for you.
At least.
Because everybody knows that we shall die one day. Constitution, Nigeria Constitution is not in operation.
No.
It's not in operation. The Constitution should be respected.
Yes, sir. Even the
once
president of a
Constitution
country
is not respected, there's nothing you can do.
Yes, sir. President of a country that sworn and said, I sworn to rule by this constitution, that I will protect and adhere with everything in this constitution. That same president of Nigeria would rather defend terrorists, as you have seen so far, and then lambast Nigerians themselves. And the same person will now go after Nigerians for speaking out against such, even if a court rules that let that person go. That same person who's want to use constitution to rule is now cherry-picking the kind of court judgment they will obey in a democracy, and there is no consequences for it. Tell me about that, sir.
What really happened is that we have not gotten the right leadership. Why do I say that? They don't possess the qualities. We are talking of poverty. There is nowhere there is no poverty.
There is nowhere there is no poverty.
But there is a limit. There is a limit. For example, in abroad where we find ourselves, there's one thing I realized in America or London. There is uniformity of structure. Then when you talk of value system, in America, what you see in Alabama is what you're gonna see in Washington. Even the structure of their buildings, bridges, education, and the respect is there. You see all these people causing trouble in Nigeria.
Yes,
they are uneducated. I'm sorry. How can on heart when we have a chain of graduates where people are educated, when problems erupt, you see them, they disappear. Except somebody like you, somebody like that lawyer, Ezekoma, somebody like Falano. But there are very few. There's little they can say. You understand now? They know them. They try, even yourself, they try you, they can't get hold of you.
And they are still
because they know you have followers, and you are talking sense.
Yes,
they know the type of brain you have. You say constitutional development is a development whereby they should be revisiting every time.
Thank you so much, sir. Let me.
You understand? You cannot say you have constitution. It's not operative.
It's not. They just.
You cannot say you have constitution. You don't listen to people. You don't have respect for people. A president doesn't respect Supreme Court.
It doesn't.
Bola Tinubu, before they said he was the president, he was saying that there's nothing they can do if he becomes the president. What confidence does he have?
Because he knows the system is operating in.
So he has chosen the constitution that who is Nigeria. So the constitution has to be revisited.
Thank
you
you
understand?
So much. Thank
and
you
if
so
they
much,
cannot do that, let them allow us to go. Let us break. It's getting too much. I can't deceive you. We continue talking every time.
I know.
It's getting too much. People are tired.
Fortunately.
People are tired. How can somebody go to the university when he come out? In the next 5 years, no job. How can you pay a university graduate in Nigeria 35,000 naira? 35,000 naira that cannot buy tire. No, look at that. It's a shame. And we have all the resources. And they will be carrying themselves with Agbadag. That one annoys me.
And they want us
it
to
annoys me.
I know. Thank you so much, sir.
They don't respect the constitution is not effective. That is the basic.
I know. Thank you so much. Let me take another one, sir. Just because of
thank you
time,
so much. God bless your soul.
You are doing good. Sir. Thank you so much for calling in. This I think it's actually afternoon in the US. So I have another caller on the line. Hello there.
My your guy, your boy, Adiola.
Adiola, how you doing, Baba?
Baba,
I saw you at the last People's Parliament, but you disappeared on me, and I was like, oh my God, I saw you. Where did you go? But it seems that you're like, no, the pressure was getting worse, and time was not on our side. Like, no, I'll do it next time. How you doing? I
have to rush to a few things. Yeah, but
yep.
Because I've been listening to some, people talk about the constitution. That thing is dead on arrival. Is dead on arrival. Our constitution is dead on arrival. No matter what they bring, they might bring another Tinubu after this one. No, but we are building on sand. Not even building. We're already built on sand. When you build a beautiful castle on sand, that's what Nigeria is. And the last room on that castle, the last room, the top suite on that castle is the office of the president, whereby very soon, when all the wind will blow, it will all come crashing down. There's nothing else to say. It's a false document. And as long as people are unaware about that, it will keep on holding them down.
True.
It's a false document.
It's actually what they are using. It is what they are using on all of us, that you violated the 1999 Constitution session this and that. Who wrote the Constitution? Who wrote it?
Baba, I went through 1963 Constitution when I was amended. I went through it. It is termed governing region, self-governing region. People should go and check that document. That is what we used to negotiate independence. And it took a while before we came up with that document in the first place. So if you are to refer back to one that the pre-existing one that the military boys tried to cover up and do away with, they refer those regions as self-governing regions. All these states and capital they are doing, all these states and capital they are doing. They are just watching down everything. It's not everything. See, Baba, because you are black, I keep on telling a lot of my friends that don't want to listen. Because you have melanin in your skin doesn't mean we are the same, Baba. It doesn't mean we are the same. We should have a live document that would help us to prosper, that we agree on. If we cannot, then we're not meant to be together.
Everybody just going away.
They go the way. So other one you are fighting, Baba, I don't agree with you. If you choose to stay together, you will draw up a live document, a living one, that will pay you, that will pay me, that will tell you where you can go and where you cannot go.
Everybody's interest.
That will address, and is a live document. It's a live document. Keep on updating it. My relationship with you will make me prosper, to make you prosper. We'll prosper together. When you see a French man, you see a German man, you see a British man, You can't really differentiate. But when they start talking, then you start, okay, this is French, this is English, this is German. It's the same thing with our melanin skin. We have differences, but there should be some things that is sacrosanct. There should be some things that we can agree on. You know, see, Baba, you should be able to self-actualize. Because see, Baba, God can't give you a language for a reason. God can't give you your culture for a reason. He gives you for a reason. So he can identify you. So, Baba, if you speak Igbo, or if you speak Igala or Edo, whatever you are speaking, God has given that difference for a reason. Celebrate your difference. If you want to partner with somebody in the South, partner with them. If you think it doesn't work, then it doesn't work. Why did they deny us that conversation with that constitution? So if you tell me I should abide by that piece of trash, why didn't you call me and say, okay, should we revert back to what we used for independence, or should we have a new agreement based on what those military boys have destroyed? Then why are you denying me that conversation? That is what we should pose to them. If you want anything under Nigeria, let us first even address that name first, because that name has a lot of confusion. So we should agree to stay together, or we should agree to go, or we should do trial and test it.
Things can't continue like this. No matter how many times people are saying, let us come together, let us move on. You can't move on when you don't even have an idea where you are going. There should be an idea where we are going. And everybody should
your own resources
agree.
You can't even use your resources to improve yourself.
No.
You know, I was
Baba, and unite and then move on. Baba,
forward. I will leave you with this one, but I don't want to hog the mic. So I'll just say one more point and I will get out.
Oh, yeah,
the minister for is it the minister for what the technology, whatever he calls himself? They found lithium in Kaduna. They are trying to negotiate with Elon Musk to come and build factory. That is a suboptimal decision. When you have an Igbo man with innocent muscles, why can't you tell innocent, we want you to first electrify all your cars. We want to gain mastery over these elements, called lithium or coltan, whatever it is. Our leaders never look inward. They look outward. And it is because that constitution does not allow you to express yourself, to gain mastery over your own minerals, to gain mastery over your own resources, both human capital and mineral resources. That constitution is the bane of our existence. So the earlier we see, Baba, even if you chuck that thing in the bin will vomit it. If you chuck a constitution inside the bin, even the bin will reject it. It's not even worthy to be in the bin. The bin will say, lie, I don't want this rubbish.
Don't drop this in me. I take all sort of debt, but not this one.
But not this one. Even the bin will say, Baba,
I flung it back at you like, now so you hate me, now so you disrespect me, Rich.
Baba Bulaba, Bulaba, good night, Baba. Bala Blue.
I dare to tell this nation today that this is the problem. This constitution can never give us progress. This constitution can never give us peace. This constitution can never give us unity. And unfortunately, most of us in this National Assembly, we don't have the spine to face what we need to give this republic to have peace and progress. What do I mean? This constitution has 68 items. 68 on the exclusive list. This constitution has only 12 on the concurrent list. And those 12 are written so nebulously, so fraudulently, that you know that the intention is to even undermine those concurrent.
Hello there.
Hello, my king.
Hello, the prince. How are you, sir?
My king.
Your voice is very low. I don't know what happened again. Oh. You might need to bring it closer or increase the volume if possible, sir.
Can you hear me better now?
I think it is better now. Please.
Okay, I say I'm just here listening to the program today, and I heard this lady who came in and said that the issue is not the value. Well, I think, yeah, to some point she has to some level she has a point, but from time immemorial, Baba Mayeji, when did we ever have the opportunity to create that value? We never had it. We never had it. We never had the opportunity to bond. When we were supposed to be bonding, the forefathers of the Fulanis were saying we are not compatible. Baba Awolowo said too, they are just geographical expression.
Nigeria is just a geographical expression, not a country.
It's just a geographical expression, So those early times when we are supposed to have said, okay, me I'm Hausa, you are Igbo, you are Yoruba, let us bond and let us say no to this kind of behavior, no to religious intolerance, no to cattle herders going into people's farms, creating. They never did it, and they missed the opportunity. Is it today that criminals have hijacked the system when we are having state capture, and these criminals are using religion and ethnicity to win to get their way, to put people to blind people, keep people blind? Is it today that we will now start talking of the value system?
That's a big one.
There's no value anymore. We don't have anything in common anymore. We don't have anything with the criminals anymore. Because when we are supposed to get it right, we didn't get it right. We had a war.
We had a war. Together.
There is no reconciliation, blah, blah, blah.
So nothing like national reconciliation like they did in Rwanda, where everybody came.
Exactly.
The people that got, people that felt like they were the ones who got attacked and killed most, the people that killed the people, all of them met and they faced themselves and they buried the whole thing there and they said it will never happen again. But how many genocide have they carried out in Nigeria, even though Nigeria didn't fight civil war again? How many genocide have they carried out in Nigeria since 1970? Many, sir.
Exactly.
Many. They call them official.
Many.
So there's no healing. There's no nothing in Nigeria. You just tell people to move on.
Yes.
Move on.
Just to move on, like goats. When you move on like goats and cows, there's nothing concerning goats and cows.
Nothing.
So I don't see. Some people have been made to believe that this time is their time. They can enter any bush and kill people and move. They can enter anywhere and go and kill people and move. How many times have Benue people cried? Just Plateau people crying. Southern Kaduna crying. Some people, I know, some people are seeing, some Ogun citizens are seeing on asylum in Benin.
Yes, so. And those ones who returned back out of them, they couldn't go back to their communities anymore. They had to start living as refugees in other villages. It is that bad. Nobody wants to talk about them. Especially those in government.
Okay, if you don't give justice to this situation, how are you going to say we should move on?
I wonder.
That's a wrong analogy to use we that are in Europe to compare. It's a wrong analogy. What these guys are trying to do is to tell us that we should be on our knees. So that's the only way we can live together. We cannot live as equals. And it's not right.
No.
We should be on equal ground. They want to put fear and make everybody bow down.
One people more superior than
the
other.
Than the others. It's not possible. That is why some people are saying we don't have the same value. Some people like to be doing rakadede. It doesn't concern. So it's not like people are condemning or saying, these people are bad. No, the value systems are not the same. And the opportunity to pave that value system to be at least manageable, we have lost it. I lost it, go.
Prince.
We lost it. That needs to be planned from the top. But the people at the top, they want to use
dry bone now. Dry bone fear.
Yes,
Fish bone. If anybody try to bend us right now break it go break. Oh yeah, everybody go in their separate way then.
You know, Baba, it's too much, yo. I just want to allow you.
I appreciate you. I know sometimes you give up easily when you try to call in. I do see your calls, but most times somebody is talking. And I'm like, oh, I wish you won't give up. But at the end of the day, you just kind of drop it like, okay, I'm done for tonight. I'll try again next time. So it's a pleasure actually hearing from you again, Baba.
It's pleasure, man.
Thank you so much.
One love.
Send me word to the family, Baba. Thank you. So I have another caller on the line. Here. Let's see if hey, hello there.
Hello, my good general.
Oh, I have another prince. Yeah, Prince Jejeman. How are you?
Yes, Baba, Prince Jejeman, so representing IPOB for life.
Always. And then never miss. You're like that sharpshooter. They say no, they miss. Now we have you here again tonight. The Prince.
Baba,
Prince.
how you doing, Baba?
I am just me, now. Just trying to make everybody feel good tonight, even though we are in a serious mess. Life is involved. Our lives are at stake, as always. So,
Baba, me, I suggest your rank needs to go up to Field Marshal or from General to Field Marshal.
Now they give me title, even though you send me the rank. But I know say imaginarily, as I sit down here like this, some of you they see General with so many ranks, sit down. Prince Jejema.
Baba, respect.
Thank you.
Baba, you see, I want to have greetings to Temple of Truth, to Princess and everyone on the Temple of Truth. At the halo now, honor too much.
We hear you too.
You see, Baba, yesterday someone called and was talking about system. Okay? He said that the problem of Nigeria is not blah, 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 that is the system. Okay? That's the reason why I'm calling to debunk that person.
Right.
Because Biafrans, we think and we reason deep before we analyze,
Please.
Another auntie also talk about value system today. You see, this value we are talking about and the system in place. The person yesterday was talking and was making comparison. Analysis with UK. He said that in UK, you see that when you come there, everybody queue into the system. You don't misbehave, So I want him to know that to compare UK, to use the UK as an analogy to Nigeria, is like talking about heaven and the earth distance. The distance between heaven and the earth. You see? One thing you should know is that some people that live like normal human being and think like normal human being and plan like normal human beings are different with people that think like animal, act like animal, and behave like animal. It's two different things entirely.
It must be.
Okay? Mayegu, let me tell him why the system is not the issue. The main problem we have is the cow mentality, and I added this cow mentality. Okay, that is the main problem. You see, Mayegu,
which Yoruba will say, "Kama wabi malu."
God bless you.
They do things like cow.
Cow, thank you.
Cow mentality.
You see, let me give an.
They follow you.
Yeah.
Yeah, they carry me.
Let me give example.
Right.
You see, our president, so-called president, okay, which we Nnamdi Kanu also tell Nigerians that is not the real Buhari, and everything Nnamdi Kanu said, all have played out. Nigerians are now praising him as a hero, but only that one, Nigeria has not recognize that very thing he said.
If you say time to disappear, don't they near? They give the tip already, saying go Niger, or they don't go see him again, Sha.
Not only disappearing, Mayegi said that nobody should come and interview him.
No.
You understand me? That is to shun the press away from him. Are you getting me? Because he knows he's not the real person. Okay, put that aside. My way I'm going to about the system is that he goes all over the world. He travels out. Let's say he's the real Buhari. He travels out, and he never see cow on people trespassing in people's property or land. But when he comes back to Nigeria, he's telling us that he wants grazing route. Why everybody is talking about ranching? He says they should go and gazette the grazing route. That is one. You see the cow mentality.
It is a cow mentality.
Secondly, yes. You see, another one is this. Mayegu, in the whole world, it's only Nigeria you will be talking about quota system. A kind of system which is quota system. Somebody from the north will go into university with cut off mark of 50. Then somebody from the south will be chasing 200 and something. So you have made this person, to get admission to university. So this person, you have made him subwoman. His own brain is not working normal as the person the other side. Are you getting me? It's only in Nigeria that you can see that mathematics. Are you getting me? So in that kind of system, in that kind of mentality of a system where somebody who is a former governor now is now going to be a vice president, he's telling you that restructuring under his foot. You understand? The whole Nigeria.
The whole Nigeria is restructuring my poo. I wanted to say that he's restructuring my ass, but now my put is talking. Go on.
My put, yes. All this throughout the whole Nigeria is saying we want a better nation. We want a restructuring. You know, he said that under his foot. In this kind of mentality, in which system will it work, my good general? That's what I'm telling you.
Wala go now. Wala yakari. Or they no go like.
There's no system. You see that terrorists that will be involved. They will set the rule. They will be the one to break the rule. The first to break the rule. I getting me. Mayegu, do you know that in our Nigerian army, majority of people that are there cannot even speak common broken? Do you understand me? The national language in our Nigerian army is Hausa, because we have Hausa Fulani. It's now in Buhari government that we know there is separate between Fulani and Hausa. Before we used to call all of them Hausa, Fulani. You understand? Now they have separated themselves because it's only in their government that we have what is called in the whole world open visa on arrival. The border of the north that give only 20% to the ports of Nigeria was open. The terrorists were trooping in. Why the south, where that is giving 80% to the ports of Nigeria, the whole southern border were closed. The business where people does business and make the chunk of money that they, when sharing the money now, they created more states, more local governments. Them that contribute 20% will be the one that will take 80% or more than in sharing. Are you getting me? Mayegu, that is what is called cow mentality. It can never work in any system. All right? That's why I'm telling that person that called yesterday and was telling you system. If that person is coming from the background of one Nigeria unity, you know, I want to debunk him and tell him that there's no system that you can get any good value, you know, any value in it that will ever work in that kind of mentality, and you live with those kind of people. So what we are saying is that they should have their own nation, Diaspora their own nation, Fulani nation, Arewa nation, Ududuwa nation, and Middle Belt nation. That is the only solution that can solve this thing. I thank that guy that said yesterday, without revolution, there can never be any solution.
God bless
Thank you, my good general.
Restructuring my put. The shitty man. Now trouble deal. Trouble deal. If this man get to take charge of Nigeria soon, people will cry blood. Especially those great thieves in Yoruba land. Restructuring.
I'm telling you.
Put. God bless you, Prince. Take care.
Elon Musk is talking about constricting the journey from London to New York to 31 minutes. But unfortunately, the topical issue in Nigeria is restructuring. Restructuring my foot. To hell with restructuring. Let's improve.
Hello there.
Hello, Mayego.
Hi.
Sorry, because
Hello,
I thought earlier on. Yeah. Hi. I called this Cham. I called earlier on.
Right. I'm beginning to get to know your voice. Once you become regular, now I won't even ask before I say, "Oh, Cham, how you doing? How are you, ma'am? All right?"
I'm fine, thank you. I'll try not to be regular.
Well, so many people are always like that, but they always get tempted to stop by and say, "No, I'm going to say something."
Yeah, I mean, but I think today's topic is really, really hot. So on the chat group, you have. Let me tell you, there are three things that I want to be really quick so that other people can call.
Go on, please.
Like growing up as a child, my father would say that adults, right?
Yeah.
The mark of an adult is his or her ability to dissent without causing dissension, right? Now we can disagree, right?
Yes.
And then we can go and have a cup of tea somewhere, right?
Yeah, we can disagree without having.
You have a problem on your chat group, and I think there are a couple of people on your chat group who are trying to call out people and say, "Listen, we will always have a difference of opinion, but you cannot descend to insulting people, calling people fools just because you disagree with their point of view."
That's right.
Right? I've seen people say, "Oh, this one is eating hamburgers." I want to advise them, I don't eat hamburgers. Sorry. So anyway.
So tell me,
now,
did you read some comments when you were talking last time? Were you reading some comments?
Yeah, I read some.
Please
I
don't
read
read
some comments.
Please don't read comments next time.
Anyway,
please.
No, because you read comments because you kind of like want to gauge the level of how many people out there are reading on the same, or rather are breaking on the same frequency with you, right? Yeah. Like Prince Georgeman just talked about. I 100% agree with everything everyone is saying. Now, when I talked about value and our ability to coexist, regardless of where the differences in values, right? And people say, okay, well, you can, comparing UK to Nigeria is apples and oranges. Not necessarily, because they have their values. We have our values, but we are able to exist here and thrive. Okay. Now, and I think people took it up to the Constitution. I didn't
said a lot.
Exactly.
They thought you were comparing.
Didn't talk about the Constitution. Exactly. I didn't talk about the Constitution. Neither did I talk about people enforcing the law. The Constitution, like the person who spoke after me, is dead on arrival. Constitution gives a lot of power to the government, right? It allows them to own things that they should not be entitled to own.
Right.
Okay, so any right-thinking government that comes into place that wants to ensure equity and fairness across the board for every Nigerian or every tribe within the entity called Nigeria, we will need to revisit the Constitution from top to bottom so that it is fair and it ensures the prosperity, like one of the callers said, the prosperity of every person, like Obi would say, that somebody who is a nobody today can become a somebody tomorrow.
Yes.
That is the kind of constitution that we should have, right? And then we should now talk about how that constitution will be enforced. So who are so Nigeria, in order for us to succeed as the entity called Nigeria, right? There's a lot that needs to be done. But I disagree that the values are what it is because of our values that's why we're having problems. No. I stand on that. That is not the problem we have.
People say things different. There are those, right, who will tell you that when there is problem, when people see problems, they see opportunities. So if I have to go with your own idea, you are actually just asking everybody to say, wait, listen, before we do anything at all, right? Why can't we just come together and talk about what are the values that we actually cherish? Document them and make them part of our law that addresses things that we really care about. That's like having a conversation, national conversation. And that's a good start for a country where everything is so divided today. So
in a country that works, yeah, I 100% agree with you. And this is the problem. And again, I said the mark of an adult is the ability to dissent without causing dissension.
Yes.
We should be able to have a conversation. Okay, so if we're all adults, we should be able to sit down and say, okay, listen, this is what we want as a people. That's why you have we have local governments and you have your representatives. That is where you should come down from. Right. They have that conversation with the lower levels. They take that conversation to the next level, so that the ultimately the people who represent you at the highest level are aware of what your problems are from the bottom to the top. Right? That is how a normal government should work, and that is what we're looking at doing. Whether or not we're able to achieve it with this current government, I don't think so, because I don't think that's what they're interested in. Right? People are quick to say, "Oh, let's break up," but somebody else made a point. Sudan is on fire today, but those two people speak one language.
Right.
We're all talking about, oh, let's break up. Oh, Nigeria, where were we before 1914? I don't know where we were before 1914. I wasn't born in 1914. Okay. I am here and now. We have a problem. Let's talk about how we want to solve that problem. If the solution is for us to go back to how the previous constitution, where it was self-governing, regional government, we can have that conversation.
I mean,
right? We can have that conversation.
Right? You can't change things if you don't talk about them. I mean, I learned about that when I came to this country, that, problems, they say problems shared is problems half solved or something like that. So if people become so hostile to one another that we don't even want to listen to ourselves, we just shout ourselves down. Shut up your mouth. Shut up. You don't know what you are saying. Shut up and all of that. So maybe the first part or the first step to getting out of this whole mess is when we begin to know that we will need to talk about this whole thing. Even if we want to go our separate ways, even if we want to stay together and fix something, but we have to start the whole process from ability to converse, ability to disagree without disagreeing. Yes. So I am with you, Sean. Seriously. And thank you so much for chipping that in. You said there are 3 things. For now, you've only addressed the part where people misunderstood what the moral or another part you mentioned. So you said 3 things you would like to touch tonight. I've heard the part of those who disagree, and they were choosing them and doing so in a different way. So anything else you want to add, ma'am, before you go?
Oh, nothing at all. I just want to encourage our viewers, before we start looking for how to disintegrate, and go our separate ways, let us have a conversation, because the truth is, even if we all go our separate ways, I'm from Igbo, I'm an Igbo.
Hey, what happened? Sorry, I'm having a reconnection issue. Sham, you there? Okay. Somehow we're having reconnection issue. If she hasn't cut off, I am going to wait on her to get reconnected. Sometimes if a call comes through your phone when you're using your WhatsApp, it's gonna just put the WhatsApp on note and then So Sham, no, I don't think we are going to be second time lucky. It seems she's dropped off already. So I am going to take this call before we're going to be rounding up soon anyway. So hello there.
I am going to take
Hello.
Hello, my neighbor.
Hey, Kilombo.
Hello, brother.
Baba, how you doing?
About day.
Well,
how your day?
You made it tonight, Baba. So you've heard us what we have been talking about, and here we are.
I don't even know
how everybody just switched away from this Sudan matter, and people trapped in Egypt. They just went straight into constitutional conversation. Is my Egunzari political not wonderful? When people have their own, they can start their conversation entirely different. Everybody will just go that path. So, Erumole.
Thank you so much, my brother. Thank you for being there for all Nigerians, both back home and in the diaspora.
Thank you, Baba.
People that want to listen, that want to learn. And I so much appreciate your wife for allowing you to be doing this good job. I always said that. Always, if you remember back, even if we are talking back at the same, I always you need to appreciate the woman, because And of course, we are all in Europe. And we know, say, even school runs alone, family issue is enough. That's true now. We all know that. So the Auntie Abike
Dagboru. She's going to be special advisor to president this time around. Though. She go get a better office, better official cast, and everything will be normal now. All the rubbish with the rubbish under Buhari. Mama is getting ready now. Foreign minister.
I'm not surprised about this.
She's cool.
Moving Nigerians from Sudan to what they call it, to Egypt in a family. Years back, I can't remember vividly that year when Gaddafi was still alive. I have family friends, I have people then that are in Libya. And when they start this xenophobia too in Libya, if you remember years back, between Nigerians and Libya, I remember that the Libyan ambassador, the Nigerian ambassador to Libya, then I can't remember. Is it Igbo or Yoruba? I can't really remember. But I'll still try and search for that thing again. Then Gaddafi tried to make peace between the Libyans and Nigerians that are having problems. How did the man make peace? May so rest perfectly. I really love that man. Unlike you, a very good man. But let's leave that one aside. He said, to make peace, so Nigerians, you people should start going to your country. My leader citizens, they say they don't want Nigerians anymore. Okay. The only way to support you people is I will make $2,000 American dollars available for Libya, for Nigerians to go back. Believe me, Gaddafi is late, but the man make the money available. I can't remember how many thousands of Nigerians that they calculated there. I have like 5 or 6 people I went to go and pick. I'm still in Nigeria then. I went to go and pick them in Aji camp. When they moved them from, in Nako, I'm telling you, like one family, they are like 4. Baba, I'm the one that went to go and pick them. Mostly, we have this my brothers from Benin and Nisha, as in from Edo State. They have this large number among them. When they moved them from Libya down to Nigeria, they just dumped them in that Aji camp. No food, no water, nothing. You know what Aji camp now in Nako now?
I do.
Open ground. Where they do normally camp. People going for Hajj and
with all those backing trucks and all that, and then when the cargo comes and they're like offloading, and I know the place.
Anybody that can remember vividly should quote me that I'm lying. Up to today, the 2,000 Canadian dollars Gaddafi made available for all the Nigerians that was repatriated, Baba, they didn't have 1 kobo. $1 they didn't give to them. I'm telling you.
The money. Gaddafi didn't give them any money, or Nigeria collected it.
Gaddafi gave them money. That's what I'm saying. The ambassador, the Nigerian ambassador to Libya there, they did the transaction within them. They give them the money. They didn't give any Nigerians, they repatriated that money. 5 naira, they didn't give them.
So go and find your
I'm
way.
Telling you.
Since you're back in Nigeria.
Go and find. They just dumped them.
But they will give these ones $100. Abike said they will give them $100 when they get to Nigeria. when they finally get to Nigeria, they'll give them $100.
This one I'm telling you, it's not Nigerian government that gave them the money.
I know.
It was Libyan government. It was Gaddafi that made the money available for them. They give them numbers of people they are going to bring back to Nigeria then. Yeah. About one couple, one dump, one CID camp. Some of them, when I go pick the family, where I go pick, some can tell those families, please, if you help me call my brother, I did Bini, this one day Delta, this one day so place. They don't dump for say now since 3 days. They don't bring us back from Libya. I don't get money to even go Benin. I don't get money to go Edo. I don't get money to go.
What is actually the value of Nigerian in this world, Baba? So now, whether you are in Nigeria or you are outside Nigeria, what is the value?
So, Baba, now, if we are now telling ourselves that Nigeria should not break up, that means we are still deceiving ourselves. You understand me? The best bet, Baba, I always say this. You understand me? Nigeria is like, you know those knockouts when we are very young that we normally shoot during Christmas that have a red wrap and have one long group on top that will just pack your matches and put it and it will be burning little by little. When it gets to the bottom, it will now explode. That is how Nigeria is. So it's going to explode one day. Don't worry, it's getting there.
It is.
Don't worry, you just be looking. It's going there.
I know.
Time will tell. You know what I mean? At least by now, they're supposed to be learning from what is happening in Sudan, but they don't want to learn. They should not worry. They will learn when the time comes. Nigeria should break up. We should not save ourselves, Rabba. We can leave you, Daddy. My regards to Madam and my children. Thank you. Good night.
To yours too, and the children as well, Baba. Thank you so much. By. So this is where we're going to draw the curtains at tonight. I know a lot of people would still want to be part of this. So I told you we're going to spend just like an hour, 10, 20 minutes. So I thought an hour, but now we've spent more than an hour taking calls. Thank you for spending your evening with me again. As we get to tomorrow, Sunday, and the days after, I implore you, if you haven't subscribed to Mayegun's Diary Political on YouTube, you should. There are some certain things that will be happening. You can only get them raw here. In other places, they do their best as well to bring you all this information. But when you come onto Mayegun's Diary Political, we do justice to every important information that you should know. I mean, ask others, they will tell you. And thank you to all my super chatters and then my commenters, my callers, my sharers, my subscribers, everyone, including my paying members too. There are people there. I respect them a lot. Like, how do you pay people to watch them on YouTube? How? Because you love them. Yeah. YouTube is free. You could log in into YouTube. You could subscribe to Mayegun's Diary Political. Everything is free. But on Mayegun's Diary Political, there are like over 400 people who are called members of the temple that actually pay to watch Mayegun on YouTube. Not because they can't watch me for free. That's how they support me. So thank you to every one of you who is part of that story. We're going to see you again in the temple tomorrow, especially Sunday sermon. Don't miss it. And I will see you then. Thank you for always. And good night to everybody.
Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1. Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1. Mayegun ti dé o ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú. Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1. Lórí Facebook, lórí YouTube. Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1. Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Mayegun já wa sí. Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1. àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o.
Máyégún Diary Náíbì nọ́mbà wán.
bó bá ṣe eré àní Máyégún máa wí.
Máyégún Diary Náíbì nọ́mbà wán.
ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o.
Máyégún Diary Náíbì nọ́mbà wán.
Máyégún Diary politico.
Máyégún Diary Náíbì nọ́mbà wán.
Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Máyégún.
Máyégún Diary Náíbì nọ́mbà wán.
ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹgọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o.
Máyégún Diary Náíbì nọ́mbà wán.
àní Máyégún làwa mọ̀ tó dódòdó.
Máyégún Diary Náíbì nọ́mbà wán.
àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Máyégún ti dé. ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
lórí Facebook.
Máyégún ti dé.
àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
lórí YouTube.
Máyégún ti dé.
àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́.
Máyégún máa wí.
àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
ijó ìgbádìyẹ.
Máyégún máa wí.
àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
bí pẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o.
Máyégún máa wí.
àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
bí gómìnà kówó jẹ.
Máyégún máa wí.
àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
ọlọ́pàá tí ń gba rìbá.
Máyégún máa wí.
àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o.
Máyégún máa wí.
àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
òpùrọ́ olóṣèlú.
Máyégún máa wí.
àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Máyégún ti dé. gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé. gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o.
Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o Máyégún ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀ wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ Máyégún ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀ oníkan ṣáàtì ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o àyè.
Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
kì máa yí ṣe eré ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀ kì máa yí ṣe eré ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀ ẹni bá ti lè lẹ́bọ̀ lẹ́rù o ọmọ bá dèrò kàṣà ìtú wọn síta.
Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
tẹnitẹni ọmọ Máyégún ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni mo fọlọ́hún ṣọ́ ẹ̀ bá kìlẹ́bù lóòótọ́ olódodo ìlú ọ̀tá ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni ìwọ ṣá máa ń ṣọ́ra kò sì mọ́ bẹ̀rù bọ́tà ń lè rí bóníṣègùn lé káwọn mọ̀mọ́ fi ṣera wọn ni ó ti dẹrùn tí wọn ò gbọ́dọ̀ sì mọ́ bẹ̀. èèpo ọ̀gọ̀ lọmọ bá dérò tàjẹ́ ò gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́ ó ti jọba lórí àbínú ẹni kò sì mọ́ bùyà àìsíwọ́lu ní ẹnìkẹ́ ìgbódì ẹyin lábàrá o ó kó ẹni tó bá dán wò á kàmù Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ túnra kì. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ túnra kì o. Ẹ̀yin bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò òní fi wọ́n níran o.
Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ túnra kì. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ túnra kì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò òní fi wọ́n níran.